film.
You're live on...
Welcome back to the WatchTower Film Podcast, e-film review podcast on the TOWERCAST network. We're back. Thank you for being patient with us. Yeah, we appreciate it.
Where were we? Dad?
We all were collectively
On film sets.
on film sets, on different film sets, and
True.
And it was
That's true. Everybody was on a different film set
Yes,
at
yeah.
some point in time.
It was
Yeah.
a blast.
Some people were on multiple film sets.
Yep.
Some people... I was also...
I'll put it like this. Some people were on big sets and some people were on little sets.
What does that mean?
Yeah, what does that
White
mean?
man.
It means that your set had a budget. Our set had some cookies.
Yeah, but yours was a 48-hour.
I love that line. Our set had some cookies.
Yeah.
But you were a 48
We didn't have
though.
cookies.
We
Oh,
did have cookies.
We didn't have
Oh,
cookies.
We
I'll
did.
argue.
We had prepackaged cookies that came in a box from
I didn't
Sam's.
get-
Packaged cookies?
We did.
Yeah, like Oreos and Chips Ahoy.
I feel like the guy
and
from
then I saw some
Spaceballs.
iced
We
tea,
didn't
too.
find shit.
Iced tea.
But
we
that's
were
what
on
yours
set.
was.
We were on set. We, as you all know, all who listen, are filmmakers as well, and primarily filmmakers to a certain extent. And we were out shooting a film. We're prepping a film that we're shooting a film we've prepped for
We
like
can't
6
say
months.
anything about it?
I mean, what's online already, right? We
What's the name of the project? Project Manhattan?
Keep it kind of like, stay tuned.
Yeah,
say some things,
yeah. Stay
you know.
tuned.
Stay
The only
tuned
thing I
to
will say is
96.3.
we had an amazing cast and crew.
Yes.
Project Manhattan?
Project what? No, but we already put the film
Manhattan?
name on title online.
We could-
Yeah, we put it.
Yeah.
It's an interesting title. I like it.
Yeah, Whack Off, the musical.
No, that's the sequel.
Yeah, that's the sequel. It's like Joker, the sequel.
Well, I'm
the
trying to
musical.
think, like, what's the
I
name you
immediately
give
started
a...
thinking of how it could look.
Yeah, like the mystery title or something like that. Like when you're trying to hide something.
Oh,
like
the
Manhattan.
project title.
Yeah, the project title. Like Project Title, Whack Off.
Walk Off the musical. I love it. Walk Off the musical is a beautiful story about.
No, what's the title?
The title is So Who Was It This Time?
So who was it?
It's good.
Who was it this time?
Whack Off the musical.
Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, Marilyn Monroe.
No, you'll see. Like I said, we had an amazing cast and crew, and the great, Elder Coltrane was on the set. We know him from Boyhood, and
He was on the podcast.
he was on the podcast. So go check out our podcast with him because we did have him on the
Check
podcast.
that.
We also had Jessica Mraz.
We also had the very lovely, the very talented Jessica Maras, who was on the podcast as well. One of our early guests during the pandemic. So it was still virtual.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that when Gastro's camera fell on him? Or
Was it really?
yeah, like his
remember that.
mic or his camera fell.
Yeah, dude, I just kind of like slowly start seeing this thing sneak.
Yeah.
I just grabbed it.
Yeah, she was on that. But again, you might know her from Supergirl or Nancy Drew. She was in the Nancy Drew thing. She did a few episodes of that, quite a few
She's
episodes
a
of
great
that as well.
actress.
Gastro,
Yeah.
what
Great
sets were
actress.
you on?
He's very friendly. Yeah, very great.
I did 2 sets of the 48-hour challenge. I don't know.
Two?
Which one alone is very challenging.
2.
So,
Yeah, I did a comedy and another one that's kind of like a drama.
Do you hate yourself?
what was the kind of
No,
like a
dude,
drama
it was
one?
actually pretty cool. I kind of wanted to do it. The what?
The kind of like a drama one. What was the actual assigned genre?
I think it was because I think everybody got comedy,
What?
but I think everyone got like a different like sci-fi or drama.
That's kind of rough.
Yeah, it's pretty weird, huh?
Well, listen, I think this drops right before the ceremony. So
Yeah.
No, I think this straw.
right
you're
before the
you're
ceremony.
right.
So a big congratulations to all the teams of the El Paso 2-day movie challenge. That's
And
the
then
official
Fisher
title
Me,
of it.
You won.
Yeah, go check out Gastro and a couple of those films. Drew's a good friend of ours, and we touch base on this stuff. And 19 teams signed up, 15 of you guys finished. So congratulations to everybody who attempted, even because it's a feat.
gonna be on the 8th.
We've done 3 of those things, and we've won awards for them, and it's not easy, man. It's not easy. So
Go check it out on the
But
8th.
it,
yeah, go check it out. Friday, December 8th at the Philanthropy Theater at the Plaza. And they're going to screen, and it's going to be the award ceremony. It's going to be great. I'm sadly not going to be there, but Austin and some of the other Tower guys are going to be there. And then this man, you'll get to see him on the screen.
they say it's
So-
kind of hard because these guys were like behind the scenes. These guys were doing the hard job. But me being the acting, I love these 2 movies.
Yeah.
These 2 days.
Don't get me wrong. We love it. We just will never do it again.
I'm trying to put it like.
But I mean, it's also I think we've talked a little
Yeah.
bit in the past about like the 48 hours and
Yeah.
how just challenging it is.
It's
I mean, like
even hosted one or help hosted one, no?
yeah. Well, I didn't host. I was like invited by Drew during the award ceremony for one of them.
But you got to see like all the submissions and all that.
Yeah, a little bit, and then
I was a judge on that one that year.
Oh, okay, that's true.
No, and then also like when we did ours, I mean, like even just you being the actor, like it's kind of like we got to figure out the situation. You got to figure out the role. I mean, if you have too much dialogue in kind of one thing, and then it's like, oh, we wrote this mountain. Yeah. Memorize it in 5 minutes because we need to shoot it now.
Not only is it a huge feat, it's a huge learning curve for filmmakers. Everybody should do one at least once.
Yeah.
It's a huge film school in a weekend. I mean, it really is. So
yeah.
it's I always say, like, especially for kind of novice filmmakers, when they're trying to get into it, they want to learn. If you're going, I personally think there's kind of 2 to 3 kind of tracks, maybe 3 in the filmmaking world. For me, it ends up being anything that's cinematography, producing, or directing. Mm-hmm. And for me, producing is logistical problem solving. Directing, cinematography is creative problem solving. So that's really what it just boils down to for me. Nice. And if you don't learn that on 48s, you're not gonna make it. You're not gonna make. You're not gonna make the finish line for a 48. Like it really does show you how to problem solve, be on your toes on the quicks for every process of it, from pre to post. Like. So I really do encourage people to try them out. Some also, really good films have come out of that, you know.
Also, just before we get into the rest of the episode, it's like 19 teams, like you said, signed up and 15 submitted. Yeah. But I mean, I think all of us were like, I've never heard of a lot of these people, or a lot of the teams.
Yeah, they were brand new teams. Yeah, you're right.
It was a lot of new teams.
For sure.
And I think it's a great way for people to kind of like jump in and meet new people, meet new filmmakers, and then. I know that before they used to have where you could kind of like ask during the whole kickstarting event, like who wants to be in a team and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, like they would have Drew. I think had already done like a mixer event for that kind of stuff like beforehand.
So that's really cool. I feel like it really helps you find your community and everything. So.
Pump those numbers up, guys. Seriously, like I think the first one we did, there was like 35 teams. So I was granted, the El Paso Film Commission does a great job of having 2 per year. So this one was, as I understand it correctly, like the light version, kind of the winter light version, and then the kind of the bigger. I think it's in the summer. We had 30.
But I think what that contributes to is that from the first 38 or whatever 32, they found out it's pretty hard.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's true. I mean, and it's not something you should do every year. I don't think. I mean, it's tough.
As an actor, it's pretty fun. It's just like I was actually trying to do 3, but I couldn't. I just couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you had to tap.
I had to tap out for sure.
Do you feel like the same way for filmmakers? It's also a good experience for like I guess like if you're not used to acting in films, like maybe getting your feet wet in it, or do you feel like it's more of a stress test on yourself? Like, can you hack it in like a 48?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of we've all seen all the new people trying it out, and I don't know if 48's a good one to start with,
but if you want to see like stress test yourself, right? Like see if you can really jump into a role in a range.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I think is funny is we've quickly found out how no matter how big the set, how imperative PAs and key PAs are to a set.
Oh yeah.
And on a 48, you almost don't have time to have PAs. You're the PA.
Yeah.
Which is the big stress test kind of thing. You don't have help. It's you. You're carrying around the gear. You're lugging around the sets. We carried a heavy ass door through the desert for fucking 48 once. I mean, like it really is just like you. Hey, where the rubber meets the road type of thing. So
that's insane. The idea that we thought like let's just get a door.
Let's just carry a door.
And then in a windy day.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
With a frame, not just the door, the entire frame of
that fell apart.
Yeah, and we rigged like these side tabs to it. It was weird, but the film came out really good. So.
Yeah, I like the film really, actually.
Those were Russo brothers 48. That was fun.
Speaking of the Russo brothers, we're talking about Ron Howard.
What does that have to do with either one or the other?
He's a director.
I don't know. I have a bone to pick with the Russo brothers, and I don't like them.
No, but both the names start with R.
You know what else starts with R? Wrench, which rhymes with.
We'll edit it. Timestamp.
Today, please subscribe to the podcast.
Yes.
We're going to be kicking off our Christmas series today. We're just going to be tapping into some Christmas classics, our favorite kind of Christmas classics. So
I picked something I don't like.
Okay.
That's up to you.
So yeah. You sadist. I don't know.
Today was my pick. Yes.
Today was Mr. John Eric Oster's pick, and with very good reason. He loves this actor to a T.
Jim Carrey.
Yeah,
How
the
can
great
you
Jim
not?
Carrey. We're talking about
Jimothy Carthy.
Jimothy McCarthy. Ron Howard's How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
2000.
2000.
2000s.
On the year 2000. This film was released.
You know how I knew it was Ron Howard? Just a weird story, and it kind of like stuck in my head.
Yeah.
It was one of those famous performances by Eminem in the MTV Movie Awards.
Okay.
And Jim Carrey was the one that presented him.
Oh,
and
yeah,
he did
yeah.
like a Ron Howard impression for some reason, and then presented Eminem. I was like, oh, so the Grinch was directed by Ron Howard. That's how I knew. I don't know
That's
how.
interesting.
That's how I
Wow.
just knew.
I didn't know it was Ron Howard until today.
Yeah, Ron Howard, the great Ron Howard. If you know Ron Howard, he did the Da Vinci Code. He did
One of the best Star Wars movies.
What?
Rogue One. No,
Yeah, wait. Am I thinking of somebody different?
no, he didn't do Rogue One. He did do a Star Wars movie,
Yeah.
Which one?
One of the best ones.
Solo.
No, Last Jedi.
He did Last. No, he did not do
What?
Yeah,
Last
that's
Jedi.
Ron Howard, isn't it?
No, he did not
Last
do Last
Jedi?
Jedi.
All right, I'm cutting
He
this
did
right
Solo, I
We
think.
might
He
have
did
to
Solo,
fire our
if I'm not
intern, dude.
mistaken.
Wait, then who?
Yeah, I think Ron Howard did Solo. I'm pretty sure he did not do The Last Jedi.
I'm a fan of Adam Driver myself.
Oh, I was thinking of Ryan Johnson. I'm in it.
Yeah, no, it's not Ryan Johnson.
Is that the family
R
guy?
A Ron
Ryan Johnson did, like Glass Onion and Knives Out and
No, this guy, the voice that he's trying to do.
Oh yeah, no,
The
that's
old
just
guy?
my like.
That's the old guy from Family Guy.
Herbert the pervert.
Oh yeah. No, I mean
I like Ron Howard.
Ron Howard did things like Apollo 13.
Oh, okay. I know that one.
Apollo 13 or
Oh, he did do
Tom Hanks.
Solo.
13.
He did Solo, right?
He also
Like,
did
11 is
Rush.
the one that's it's like a horror.
Yeah. So he did 13. He did a
Rush.
Rush. He did A Beautiful Mind.
He did Rush?
Yeah.
The one that we did?
No, the band.
Oh, for
He did all of
He started it? Nice.
He did all of them. No, but Imagine Entertainment, him and Brian Grazer's company. Brian Grazer's a producer. They're like one of the best duos that running around Hollywood making films.
Oh sure.
He walks around with the likes of Tom Hanks and working with Tom Hanks a lot for his films and stuff like that. So
Man called Otto, they say.
did he do The Man Called Otto? I don't know.
No, Tom
Ron
Hanks
Howard
did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
Not Ron
yeah,
Howard,
that we knew. But anyways, Ron Howard, the great Ron Howard, and again, a lot of people don't know. Ron Howard actually started his
Shout
career.
out
Who?
to Ron Howard.
He's not dead.
No, he's probably in Chuck's office.
Ron Howard started as an actor. He actually
Really?
plays a key role in one of my favorite films, American Graffiti, George Lucas's American Graffiti.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. What a lot of people don't know is that Ron Howard actually started his career as an actor.
Really?
And he had a pretty key role in one of my favorite films, George Lucas's American Graffiti. He's the little redhead running around. He's a little redhead in the cars driving around.
love little
He's a funny little character, but he was in like sitcoms growing up, and like he's a child actor and stuff. So
Wow.
he was in the biz pretty early on. Then became pretty damn good director. But yeah, he directed this, starring Jim Carrey and man, I forget Taylor, the girl's name.
The little girl's name?
Taylor Momsen.
Taylor what?
Momsen.
Momsen?
It's Momsen.
You might know her also from. I know the only other place
Which
I've
other
kind
one?
of seen her in is in that show Gossip Girl.
Oh, she came out on that one?
She's like one of the leads actually.
Oh, she was the president's daughter in Spy Kids too.
What?
Oh, that's right. Oh
Wait.
shit, I forgot
Yeah.
about
Oh
that.
my
That's
God.
awesome. Yeah. Jeffrey Tambor's in this. Christine Baranski, Bill Irwin, Molly Shannon, and then like literally everybody in Ryan Howard's family. Ron Howard's family.
Oh, I thought it was
Like,
only the
no,
dad.
dude, it's the dad, it's his son, it's his daughter, it's everybody in his family
Except
was in
for
this
him?
film. No, he was in it too. He
Really?
plays one of the
Who is he?
villagers.
Who is
Yeah,
he?
he's one of the Who's.
Just the who?
Yeah, he's one of like concerned who number one or whatever. Like, yeah, literally. But yeah, everybody and their mother, quite literally, for Ron Howard, were in this film. Jeremy Howard, and dude. By the way, I don't know if you guys knew this. Just while we're on the topic, there's two actors in this that are relatives of Ron Howard. One of them's name is Clint Howard, who you might know from like The Waterboy. He was the guy that has that whole conversation with the other guy. They're like the two townspeople are like dumb and like like Joe Montana plays football or whatever. That Joe acts or whatever.
That's Joe Montana.
That's Clint Howard's. That's Ron Howard's brother.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then
Waterboy.
I know Austin. I know you'll recognize this guy, Jeremy Howard. Let me.
He's the guy from Accepted, right?
Yeah, he's the guy from Accepted.
The one
The
that
guy
wants to
that
blow
blows up
stuff
shit
up
with his
with
head
mine,
or whatever. Yeah. That's like his
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
son.
trying to remember that one. I remember Accepted.
Yeah, like when he locks the door and he's like, "Is this a test?" He's like the really tall, lanky one. Yeah.
The guy that's
dude.
like, I want to major in blowing things up with my mind. And then he
Yeah.
succeeds at the end somehow.
Yeah.
Like the car blown up.
Spoilers for the
Oh, I know. Well, it's okay.
You
You'll
haven't
see
seen
it.
Accepted?
But he's okay, right?
Yeah, it's going to be okay. But anyways, he's Ron Howard's son.
Wow.
You know, so like all these kind of little, little cameos were fun. But anyways, the great Jim Carrey. One
Dude,
of
what
his
a
most
performance,
memorable roles.
Let me
I think.
rephrase that for him. The iconic, legendary,
Yeah.
one of a kind
Sure.
Jim
Ron
Carrey.
Jeremy.
Did he say Ron Jeremy?
Yeah.
You're gonna die in prison.
Yeah, dog.
The porn star Ron Jeremy?
The arrested in jail.
arrested in prison.
He's in prison?
Wait,
Dude,
why
he
is he in
got
prison?
Sexual assault out of it.
What do you
Surprisingly.
think?
Yeah.
I would have thought like tax evasion.
40 counts of sexual assault.
That's not a bad.
Oh yeah, dude. No, he's
Yeah,
he's a bad man.
You needed somebody to carry that shit.
So no, not the great John.
Is he gonna be okay?
Ron Jeremy?
I hope not.
No, dude. You see him in like court.
Yeah,
and
he
he
looks
has
bad.
like a bag. You know, they have to play into that so he doesn't get locked up. But he's going to prison for the rest of his life, dude.
Yeah, he's got a wheelbarrow for his nuts and shit. It's insane, bro.
I'm sorry.
This is a Christmas film, a kid's Christmas.
I know.
No, actually.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, there was
Well,
some-
okay,
Yeah.
well, we're gonna talk about that.
What is it, PG? 13?
PG originally it was PG-13. Originally it was deemed as a PG-13 film at the MPAA.
You know, the
actually.
sun's
man.
out, the powder's great.
Exactly. This is-
Powder's bitching.
Yeah, there you go.
He lands in her chest area and
Her
hi
chest-
Martha.
Oh, hi, Martha.
Yeah.
There's
So-
more. There's a key one. We're on the topic already.
Yeah, which one? I'm
I
trying to
would
think of it.
recognize this one. We see the Who's in a party, right? It's Christmas
Oh
party at the
yeah,
beginning.
the keys in a bowl.
They're putting their keys in a bowl.
It's a swingers party.
It's a swingers party. The Who's are swingers.
Oh, I thought it was just because nobody wanted to drive drunk.
No.
Swingers do
That's
put
a
it in a
swing,
bowl.
yeah, it's
Yes.
like you
And they-
switch keys.
Oh,
you swap
and then,
keys.
like-
that's how you- that's
Yeah.
the thing?
And then
Wow.
it's
Hey,
like
before it was the pineapple
Yeah.
thing nowadays,
Today,
right? It was
I
the
learned.
now it's the
pineapple
pineapple
thing.
yeah,
Yeah,
now
yeah.
like it's a symbol of swingers.
So
Apparently.
usually, yeah.
Pineapple?
So
Like, you see a
legitimately,
pineapple outside a house,
either
you know?
like you have like
Oh, I'm serious.
no,
I see,
yeah.
like, two
So
pineapples
like
on my house.
swingers will have like pineapple decals on their car, or if they're like at the store, they'll put a pineapple like in a certain part of their cart so other swingers know.
Oh, so that's what that pineapple sticker means, right? In your car.
What?
No, this is like a
Just like
legitimate thing though.
pineapples.
It's like yeah.
But before that,
I didn't know about the keys.
You would
if
go
you
to
see
like
that
key-
70 Show's famous
Yeah.
episode of the key swapping thing with Red and his army buddy.
Yeah, so you would go to a party, you put your keys in a bowl, and
Yeah.
then either the wives or the husband would grab the keys.
So they did that.
Yeah.
They did that in this film, and Dr. Seuss's widow, I forget her name. I should know her name. She's going to be mentioned on this podcast a lot. She Dr. Seuss died in the 50s. Okay, so
But he's okay.
in his books, yes, he's immortal. She had final say on everything.
Ooh,
That was the
Even in
caveat
Cat in the Hat?
because, well, that's why that stopped. Yeah. Well, look, back in like 1955, they made an adaptation of one of Dr. Seuss's films, and he hated it. And she basically said, like, if we're gonna do this again, I haven't done it since the 50s. If we're gonna do this again, I need final say in everything, based on what I know about my husband. You know, so she had final say on the script, and they cut out a stupid amount of like adult jokes from it,
From this one?
from
this
the
one?
script itself, and then Jim Carrey has commented on how ashamed he's felt of how much he allowed, because a lot of it was improv.
He's been doing
By
that
the way,
since.
her
since-
name's Audrey Giselle.
Audrey Giselle.
He's been saying that since. Which movie was it? Kick-Ass? Did he come out of Kick-Ass, or which one was the one?
He-
that-
Did
Yeah,
come
he
out
came out of Kick-Ass. He was one of the. Right? Let me get what's wrong.
Jim Carrey? No, that was Nicolas Cage.
No, who came out on? Because he like.
Well, he was the Riddler in Batman. Not Kick-Ass.
intern. But anyway, he's been on this weird thing where
For
he's-
kids.
Yeah, he's against like violence or.
Well,
Yeah,
no, but I mean,
He
this-
was in Kick-Ass too.
He
Oh,
told-
Kick-Ass too.
Yeah.
Well, no, but my point is, for this specifically, he like regretted how many adult like innuendos he would say, because
Right away?
no later.
Oh, okay, so
No,
that's
no,
what I'm
like
saying.
no, like immediately after the release of the film. Yeah.
Really? Damn.
Because he was like, it's a kids film, you know, like we're promoting this thing as a kids film. We're hoping kids. I mean, this was the highest grossing film of the year of 2000.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so like this did get a lot of eyeballs on it, and Granted, most kids aren't gonna get it anyways, but
I didn't get some of them until like right now. I was
This
like,
film
wow.
like tripled its budget.
yeah.
Yeah, the budget was 123 or something, right?
And they made 345.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which at the time, I mean, that's probably $1 billion today for inflation. So adjusted for inflation. But yeah, just Jim Carrey had those kind of weird feelings about it all. But
You felt like it could have been more for kids, like more.
yeah, a
less-
little more. I mean, who knows, right? I mean, this is a direct adaptation,
That's
not
weird.
of the book. By the way, it's a direct adaptation of the 1966 special, the cartoon that we all know and love, right?
It's off of that one.
Yeah, because even like there's little things like, for instance, in the book, the Grinch is black and white with like spots of red and yellow. He's not even green. The green comes from the TV special. You know, stuff like that. They really adapted it from
The
the
scene
TV
that always
special.
sticks with me is the ending, like the dinner table on the cartoon, like the original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, again, just a lot of little nods to that. Nods to Dr. Seuss. We were talking about the green eggs and ham nod
I never caught that
at
before.
the end of the film when they feed
Me
the
neither.
dog. It's
I
green
didn't
eggs and
catch that.
ham.
These guys did.
The Horton Hears a Who thing, you know, where the Who's are, you know, these miniatures, these specks of people, essentially.
And then the Citizen
So
Kane.
that was a
all
reference?
over it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all that was a reference to Doctor. And the one of the opening shot, there was a one of the early drafts of the script had in the set design a mention of a cat, the head of a cat inside of a hat,
Really?
like in the Grinch's apartment or the Grinch's loft
Nice.
or whatever.
Those
And
little
and,
Easter
and the
eggs.
Dutch Giselle was like, no fucking way, we're not gonna do that stuff. And then there is a fish inside of a bowl.
I
in
did
the
ca-
opening
I did
scene.
catch that.
So that's a Cat in the Hat reference.
It's when
you
he's
know?
like sucking out the presents.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff. You see
yeah.
the
Yeah,
little
so
fish.
stuff like
sucking
that.
it out.
Yeah.
Stuff like that's in there. A lot of nods to the great Dr. Seuss, who apparently had some issues too.
Is he gonna be okay?
Issues, Disney, everybody.
He's gonna be okay.
Yeah. So
Have you ever looked into? There's a wonderful video essay that talks into like the dark series of his paintings. Have you ever seen that?
Oh no.
Of
It's
Dr.
it's
Seuss?
there's a video essay that he did. So he was a cartoonist. He did
Yeah.
cartoons for I think like the Second World War. If
He
I'm
did
not mistaken.
political- he did
He did
political
a lot of
cartoons, yeah.
political commentary in his cartoons and all that. Later on, he wanted to make something that was more positive, and he made the children's books. But he also had a series of paintings that they were just like they weren't for books or anything like that. But they're very surreal. Some are very passive. Other ones are very like dark and gloomy and kind of depressing
Yeah.
and all that. But it's like a lost series, and they also have like a very dark image of like the Cat in the Hat. Have you ever look into it or look into like the
where
dark
they
series?
at? Like where they at?
Well,
or-
probably museums and stuff. I would
kept-
assume, right? I mean,
Yeah, archives, collections. But if you look
Archives,
into, I forgot who made it, but a video essay on the dark series of Dr. Seuss, you can see a lot of it, and it's super interesting. You just-
I learned something really
That's
interesting about Bob Ross. Is that his
Yeah.
name? About his paintings, and not the theory about the killing.
Oh, don't tell me that Instagram where it's all a little.
I mean, that's a cool theory.
Yeah,
I
that
actually
is-
kind of
that
like
is-
the
that
theory,
is- yeah, I
but
like that too.
no, apparently the family's very protective of his paintings. You will not see a Bob Ross painting ever in your
that
life.
is
Like
true.
they keep them secret.
yeah.
That's true.
They made 3 for each show, so there's 3 versions of every painting. There's 3,
My grandma used to watch that show every day.
and nobody like they won't sell them. They won't like it was per his
Yeah.
wishes supposedly. And then somebody made a comment about how like, oh, bro, you don't want to benefit and get money off of his paintings, but you put his fucking face on a toaster. Like you put his face on merchandise that
Yeah.
sells. Like, how's that any better?
No,
This is his stuff. This is just merchandise.
Yeah, and the painting's a little more personable.
Exactly.
I don't know. There's a whole thing about how his family's really sketchy. I mean, he's dead, so like, for him it doesn't matter, but his family's really sketchy, which usually
Well,
happens.
It was
Also,
yeah, insane usual.
Well, also like Bob Ross had affairs.
Oh, did he really?
But yeah, there's a small documentary on I think it's called The Joys of Painting.
Oh,
and like what?
Because I remember, it's kind of like brings down that one of the last shows where he's kind of like talking about his wife just died. But you're saying that he had a couple of affairs.
No, like he had like
That was a really sad show. I remember because it was his wife just died and
really.
he's just being so positive. Like the person. that
Oh
he is.
man.
There is a film
But
that kind of touches on his life a little bit. Owen Wilson was just in it.
It's nothing on his life.
Really?
Oh, okay, I was gonna
I
say.
watched it. It's I think he's called like Happy something, like
Yeah.
Happy Painting. I watched it. It's a dry comedy about a person who again is
Also, it's not even him.
I
it's
thought
like-
it was directly-
no.
it's just-
It's like a spoof of him
Okay,
because
yeah.
in that one, there's this new artist who she's doing more radical paintings and people are getting more of a kick out of it. And he tries to do like classical paintings, and then you realize that he's only done classical paintings because he's trying to get his work into a museum, but nobody will take them because they all look the same. So it's just it's a spoof.
Reeling it back into the
I'm
Grinch.
so sorry.
I know,
I
we went on the
just-
time, but reeling it back into the
Yeah.
Grinch. Guys, so this was your pick. Tell us why, and then we get into ratings before we get into anything else about the film.
Dude, because I've been following Jim
hour
Carrey
mark.
since Living Color, dude, and this guy just got better and
Living
In
better.
Living Color.
Huh?
In Living Color, yeah.
Living Color. I'm still like curious, like how he got in it. Jamie Foxx,
Because of
all the
stand-up.
Wayans brothers, like
stand-up.
Yeah,
The Wayans were doing
I don't wanna-
Def Comedy Jam, and this was when
but
Jim
he was like
Carrey
the
was...
only white dude. So
Yeah.
that's like mad respect.
Yeah, they just
to,
really
like-
liked him, yeah.
No, but like we talk about like the iconic, character of the Grinch and what we saw like in the cartoons, and I just think Jim Carrey's performance and his ability, to just his physical comedy and then his facial expressions are just one of a kind. I think that's like what brings out the Grinch. Because I've seen like I don't know, for some reason I was looking at his smile. I think he did it better than it. Better than
Tim Curry. Is that Tim Curry?
was the
Well,
other
it's the
guy?
original one, but which, by the way, who was considered for the Grinch?
really?
Yeah,
Oh,
the
wow.
original. Is it Tim Curry?
Curry, yeah, Curry.
The guy from a Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he was considered for this role for the
No,
Grinch.
definitely. And then you guys said like
Oh, I
Steve
can tell you.
Carell.
Okay, there was 5. No. I can tell you the 5 that were really considered. The first name that Dr. Seuss's widow dropped, Jack Nicholson. They wanted Jack Nicholson,
It would have been.
but
so,
Jack Nicholson says that he was never offered the role. They considered him. He was never offered the role.
Okay.
Jack Nicholson, Robin Williams. I don't know.
I know. Yeah, yo.
Jack Nicholson, Robin Williams, Tim Curry, Dustin Hoffman.
Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah, I don't know about that. And there's one more. What was it?
I'm trying to think like people that are very physically like into the comedy.
Yeah.
I'm only seeing 3 here: Nicholson, Hoffman, and Williams.
Yeah, but there's a few more later on or like further into the trivia you see it. But anyways, those were the names that were
so see,
considered.
like, but you said that Steve Carell could have played this one.
I don't think so.
I made that as a joke.
As a joke?
I don't think anybody could have played it like this. I think if we had seen any of these other actors, it would have been a whole different twist on it.
Right,
because
right.
Also, I mean, again, I didn't know the conversation was going to go into this, but it feels like this is very much like a movie that was built around Jim Carrey because you see the
you
camera
would
work.
think so. You would think so.
It feels like it, but I
Eddie
mean,
Murphy and Tom Hanks were the others.
Eddie Murphy.
and Tom Hanks.
oh my god,
Eddie Murphy would have been interesting.
that would have been super interesting.
Yeah.
And that was at the height of Eddie Murphy. You know, you think about
But
it.
also as well as Jim Carrey.
Oh, there's a very famous picture while we're on him. There's a very famous picture at the same time that this was being filmed, The Nutty Professor was being filmed. The sequel.
Oh, yeah,
I think.
I did see the-
And
of them.
he's in full costume, and Jim
then Nutty
Carrey's in full
Professor.
costume
Oh,
for the
really?
Grinch, and they were on the same lot.
Doing the same lot.
So they
Oh,
were.
that's
They took a bit
awesome.
like he visited the Grinch set and like took pictures and stuff. And that.
That's so funny.
So yeah, besides like Jim Carrey, like I'll get into it right now with the acting thing, but another thing was the set.
Yeah.
I heard that it's 11 acres of just set building and
So the main sound stage was 30,000 square feet, and this was the biggest set on the Universal lot with this many actors and this much makeup since The Wizard of Oz.
yeah, because
This
I
was
heard
the biggest set to date. The only thing that replaced it, there was one thing that replaced it recently. Man, I forgot what it was, but this has been the biggest set to date on the Universal lot.
Really?
Yeah, because I also heard that there was gonna be a sequel, but Jim Carrey just said that I can't do 3 hours of doing the makeup thing.
Yeah. Do you want to get into that? That's a
It was built right behind the Bates Motel.
Bates Motel. So, like, in one occasion, and they tell you this on the backlot tour, in one occasion, Jim Carrey, in full Grinch costume, got a knife and put a dress on and went to the Bates Motel and scared the people of the backlot tour.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude, like, he would do shit like that.
Yeah, keep
Between
himself
takes, he's
entertained.
bored,
He's
he's
just-
sweaty,
yeah,
he hates the
exactly.
fucking makeup. He's got to entertain himself, right? So, yeah, he went to the Bates Motel and just scared people through the backlot tours.
Wow.
That's still built, by the way. This set does no longer exist as of 2020, but the Bates Motel is still on the Universal backlot, and they still tell you stories about this set. They left the Whoville Houses set on the Universal backlot for 20 years after the making of this film. This was so popular, and it looked so great.
So just recently they took it off.
So in 2020, they tore it down to make way for other stuff. If I'm not mistaken, the last time I went, it was the Nope set, the theme park.
Oh wow.
That's what replaced it. That's what's currently there.
No, but yeah, the set, obviously the story's obviously pretty cool. You guys are gonna hate my rating. I give it a 9.9.
Are we doing a Christmas and
We have to.
Christmas rating and
So is
a
that your
contribution to cinema
film
rating?
rating?
Oh shit. Okay, sorry.
When have we not cussed on this podcast?
Fuck, my bad.
Oh, because
Fuck,
it's a
man,
children's
shit.
film.
Dang
Fuck,
it.
man, don't cuss.
Nah, man.
Oh, poop.
Watch your fucking
I know,
mouth,
I
dude.
bitched out, dude. My bad. No, so what's
You're
the first
gonna
one?
hear from my mom.
Do Christmas first.
Christmas. Oh, dude, come on, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think for both is 9.9.
Wow.
Because I just, you told me 10 is like incredible, and it is incredible, but I'll give it a 9.9 for both.
Fair.
Just because I'm a Jim Carrey guy, dude. Like, this movie was all Jim Carrey for me.
I mean, especially seeing his sensibilities as an actor and a performer.
Yeah.
And I bet
my
you most
God.
of it was improv. I bet you
Yeah.
A
most
good
of it.
chunk of it.
lot
A
of
good
it,
chunk
yeah.
of it.
Yeah, you could even tell,
Like one of Austin's favorite lines, the whole bit, the whole monologue of I'm booked. He's going down the schedule.
yeah.
The line 6 o'clock, have dinner with myself. I can't cancel that again. That was improv.
See, and he's been doing that since Cable Guy, dude. You'll just add little things.
Yeah.
So yeah, but what were you saying?
Oh no, I was just gonna
Sensibilities.
say his sensibilities, him being able to know how to bring that character to life and stay in it and find the full physical range of it is super, super impressive.
Do you think I read this a lot, and it says that he overacts and he over expresses himself, but I think that's the beauty of this.
For this
cartoon,
character,
right?
You have
this
to.
cartoon,
You
right?
have to.
Especially
Especially in the cartoon, is very.
Yeah, when you watch the cartoon and then you see moments in this, the facial expressions, the movements are all super reminiscent of that, which not everybody can pull off.
I do wanna. I
Always
get
to the
it.
point, his smile is kind of creepy at times.
I
It's
do want to
whoa.
talk to you about that because I'm gonna burst your bubble a little bit about him, Castro.
You can't burst my bubble about Jim Carrey.
Maybe not. Maybe you know this about them. I'm sure
Burst
you know this
mine.
about them, but I'm curious as an actor because I could totally see you going either way. Do we get into it now or do we just finish ratings?
Let's finish ratings and then make that.
Oh
the
no, you
first
still got it. I'm kind of interested.
I want to hear more about the makeup.
Let's get into ratings. You're right. That's the first thing
Okay,
we'll touch
okay.
on after the ratings
Okay.
because then this is going to be a little bit.
Who do you want to go next?
Let's go around.
I mean, I'll make it quick because I do want to hear that point.
True.
As a film and contribution to cinema, I'd give it a solid 8 because I think the set building and the costuming and everything. I
Yeah.
think it even won an Oscar for
For costume?
costume or makeup. or
I would say makeup, hopefully.
It won for makeup,
Yeah.
and then it got nominated for art direction, set decoration, and costume design.
And Jim didn't.
No,
No.
I mean I could argue that maybe.
Yeah,
but
I could argue that he probably deserved a nod.
It just depends.
not a
on,
win, but a nod.
I'm
yeah.
not right. It depends on the movies.
But
Has
yeah,
he been nominated for an Oscar before?
I'm pretty sure. No,
Maybe for Man on the Moon
No, I
or
thought you got nominated.
what about the Truman Show?
or Truman? I would say Man on the Moon. Man on the Moon over Truman Show.
Man on the Moon was kind of it's 50-50. People didn't like it.
I would have
'Cause
said
they-
it for
Most people didn't like.
what's the name of that
Eternal
one?
Sunshine of
Yeah,
Spotless
but
Mind.
no.
Maybe. Nah,
He's
it's more of
only
an
got-
indie darling.
Yeah.
The biggest nod that he has is for a primetime Emmy.
Wow, really?
For
that serious show about the kids. No,
Yeah.
where he's like a teacher, kindergarten teacher. or
Oh,
something.
just kidding.
Which one's
or
that
joking?
one?
Joking or something. Yeah, he's like
Jim
isn't he
Carrey
like a
came out in
teacher.
that?
He
This
came
is
out
recent, like
he came out in
2019,
one
2020.
That's it's basically like if
Jim and Andy: The Great Beyond.
Jim and Andy's Rebound.
It was an outstanding
Yeah, the
documentary and nonfiction special.
Oh no.
The-
It was for
Maybe.
just kidding. There was
Andy
a
Hoffman
TV
one?
show.
No, but that's what the primetime Emmys for.
Oh, really?
Jim and
Also,
Andy: The Great
primetime
Beyond.
Emmys don't really count.
Yeah. But that's the biggest thing he's been nominated
bro.
for.
Emmys, not primetime. Primetime Emmys are the days.
I will say I think he is one person that's overlooked sometimes. It's at least in this
I don't know,
time
man.
of his
Jim
career.
Carrey's quit acting so many times. I've lost
No,
count.
but, like,
Yeah.
I mean,
I
I don't
would've-
know.
Couple of years,
I would've
but
argued-
What the
role
last thing he did was
does it to
Sonic.
his best
No, but what I
he did
mean
the
is
role
that-
perfect. Come on,
Which
dude.
one?
For Sonic, he did the villain.
No, he did, but
no.
didn't he say after Sonic, he's like, okay, I'm done
He had,
for a while again.
And then he
Only
came back
if-
for
if
Sonic
the
2.
script, the golden script. comes
Yeah.
out.
But like for this one, I could have made the argument he should have gotten a nod.
I'm with you. I agree.
Just
Yeah.
the performance.
What else was nominated that year?
Let me see.
Driving Miss Daisy.
Well, you said 8 for film.
Yeah,
And-
the Christmas movie. It's a personal favorite of mine. I'd give it a solid 10 for a Christmas movie.
Fair.
Fair.
But for the Oscars that year for
You
actor,
said go around, bro. What are you looking at me for?
that year was Russell Crowe with Gladiator, Javier Bardem Before Night Falls, Tom Hanks with Castaway, Ed Harris, Pollock, and Jeffrey Rush Quills.
Tom Hanks won that year.
Yeah.
No,
cast.
Russell Crowe for Gladiator.
Oh yeah. You're not entertained. What are you about, man? That's
Castaway, bro.
Too different, but come
Castaway,
on.
bro.
Roman times, dude.
This exactly tells you what kind of filmmaker I'm. Like, Castaway over Gladiator.
Dude.
Yeah.
Well, Ridley Scott was at his
Joaquin
height, though.
Phoenix, dude,
Oh,
just-
I heard, dude. I heard. Napoleon sucked, man.
Yeah, I've been hearing that a lot.
I heard
too.
it's bad.
Yeah, dude, I keep hearing bad things about it.
Yeah, man.
I'd rather go watch the Hunger Games right now.
Yeah, I've actually heard pretty good things about the new Hunger
And also,
Games.
I'm a fan of the Hunger Games.
And I'm a fan of
I've never
her.
seen
I
it.
like Rachel Zegler.
Yeah.
You know, since West Side Story.
myself.
Anyways, yeah, eight for cinema,
Especially when I go with
10 for
you,
Christmas.
All right, that's fair. Okay.
Delo,
Mr.
your first
Lamar.
time watching, right?
First timer.
Doubt it.
You want
First
him
time,
to go
long
last
time.
since he was the first timer?
No, it's like
First time, long time?
You've never seen this, or are you bullshitting?
No, I've never
come
seen
on,
it.
bro.
Wow, not even with your family?
No.
What kind of family you grew up in?
Did you
We
have you
watched like
locked
the
up?
Christmas Story or
Family Man.
Christmas Vacation, Family Man.
By the
yeah.
way, Delo, I want to apologize for quoting like half this movie.
Oh,
No.
we did that to him on Superbad. We did that to him.
no, but I feel like that also like shows the iconicism of this film.
Since he brought up Vacation, a 1980s Chevy Chase, I think could have played this role.
No! Chevy
A
Chase?
1980s Chevy.
Oh.
A
Okay, okay,
Vacation.
let me put it to you. His
A
physical
Christmas
comedy
Vacation.
would not do it.
How, no, dude, come
On
on.
the Three Amigos, I seen him.
No, but on
No,
vacation,
no.
on Christmas Vacation.
The 80s Chevy Chase.
no.
80s Chevy
this is what you guys
Chase.
are not
Not
understanding. Even with
Community
Steve
Chevy
Carell,
Chase.
they
Dude, have you
this-
seen Caddyshack?
Check this out.
Have you seen Caddyshack?
No. Yeah,
not Bill.
Chevy
Right.
Chase.
Yeah. No. It's
No?
what you guys don't understand is that same thing with Chris Carell, Steve Carell, and Chevy Chase. They have this humor that's kind of like, I want to say
They're very animated human
Yeah, but
beings,
it's
though.
like kind of like
Subtle?
Subdued.
like dumb, like not dumb, but
They played straight.
kind of like the losery kind of. Like Steve Carell, I'm thinking of Steve Carell more.
You're thinking of like The Office Steve Carell, right? Like the guy who's kind of a loser, but
That's his comedy, but that's his
doesn't-
comedy.
But isn't this more of a dinner for schmucks, Steve Carell?
Even for Dinner for Schmucks, that's the same thing. It's like a dumb humor. Whereas with Jim Carrey, he's got this vulgar, subtle vulgar. Just his skill set alone and his facial expressions. I don't think Steve Carell or this guy would have been able to make that smile.
I'm going to say Ben Stiller.
Nah, not even that.
And I'm just saying,
I was
you guys
watching-
you guys don't know who Jim Carrey from Living Color is.
Oh, I do.
No, no.
Some guy that
No,
very
no.
He will do
I'm-
jumping jacks and just.
Oh,
I
who
am
else was
for the
considered for
humor
this
of
role,
it.
by the way, was Adam Sandler. He was also considered for this role.
but he's
By the way,
Jewish.
Early Adam
But he's
Sandler.
Jewish.
I am a big believer that nobody else could have played this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
no, I am. I'm just saying.
He's the type that will get hurt just for the laugh, whereas like these guys wouldn't.
I don't know, man. Have you seen
Anyways.
Vacation?
The law ratings.
Sorry, I got a little heated.
What do I start with first? Christmas or
Yeah, Christmas.
I went cinema than Christmas.
Well, whatever.
cinema then Christmas? I feel like for cinema, let's give it a nice 7.2. You know, it falls in this
Cinema?
weird- yeah, for cinema. 7.2. I feel like it's in this. Okay. It's
Yeah,
weird
for
because
cinema, I get it,
no,
yeah.
but this is one of the few blockbusters we've really talked about, right? Like this is
Yeah,
one of the
that's a good
few
point.
that you know when we're talking about like the filmmaking dynamics and everything that goes into it. This is meant to be very eye catching, and I mean that requires a different way of looking at the film you're making. The sets are meant to catch your eye. They have a lot more budget that goes into it, so they can do these elaborate shots, these multiple crane shots. They
Yeah.
can get super wacky and zany with whatever kind of dynamics they want to do into it. It's all really impressive, and I mean,
I
it's
have a
using
question to ask you about the
the camera work.
camera work.
Yeah,
There's a theory. I'm willing to buy into it.
I want to hear the theory, but,
I'm willing to buy into it.
We have a
but
lot
it's
to talk about.
It's a little bit of
but
a
as a
stretch.
Christmas, yeah, go for it. Like,
okay, but yeah, so as that, I'll say 7.2. Just like it's weird. I mean, I can see all these techniques done there. The reason it gets a lower ranking on the cinema chart is because we talk about pushing the medium forward and all that. I don't think anybody's going to be using this as a way to like say like, oh, this is gonna like push it forward. I think they just use the highest end technology of that time that they could, and
You know
the
what?
only
I've
argument I'd make about that is people could look at this and be like, "Oh yeah, we should do like the makeup like, more practical
Well-
and the sets. We should build them." And
But I mean
that's the only argument I would have.
But
Yeah.
that's not to his point. That's not really pushing the medium forward. It's
Well,
something
I
that has
think-
existed you know.
I know, but
that's a good point. I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
that's
when we
the
talk
To
about like,
maintain that tradition.
yeah, no, costuming and makeup. I mean, you know, like we've seen a lot of innovations come, and also that's a different field that I wish we could have more people we could talk to about.
By
it.
the
Like
way,
we
I
talked
think
to Barney Berman, right?
Barney Berman. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, shout out to Barney.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, this still holds the record for most prosthetics on the set.
Yeah. So
All
like
the people.
with something like that, it's super impressive. That's why I'm not going to go super low down because I mean you could see that on set building, costume design, everything.
You're right.
Yeah.
Both of you are right. But if you're gonna, what I mean about what they're talking about in terms of the cinema aspect, because you didn't really defend your rating. It's a personal favorite of yours. But for cinema, why are you defending it? Right?
Yeah,
My whole thing though is the bulk of both of your conversation has been set and makeup. That can't possibly be the only things that defines the full cinema scope or something. I mean, if it defines it for those 2 points, cool. But then it's not encompassing the whole medium of film. So that's unfair.
Also,
you know?
I'll add into this, like the camera work, it seems super reminiscent of that time, especially for blockbusters of the time. I'm going to talk about like things like Batman
but
and
it's
Robin.
not dated, right? But it's not dated. That's the picture. Look at.
Yeah, I found it.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
It's so crazy, huh?
That's very cool, man.
But like,
Yeah.
I bet you they went for food or something. They're like,
Maybe, yeah.
But like for things
Poor
like
bastards.
Batman and Robin, where the camera works super similar, set design super similar, the techniques used.
Tim Burton was up to direct this film before Ryan Howard was. Ron Howard. I don't know what keeps
I
saying
could
right.
definitely see that.
I can too. In
But
the
he
set
would've
design,
made it-
especially.
obviously he would've made it darker.
This set, by the way, especially the Grinch's like kind of layer, was very Edward Scissorhands.
I thought it was like kind of Batman-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
No,
like think about the
yeah.
mountain and Edward Scissorhands where he's at. Like that's so fucking Tim
Oh,
Burton.
wow,
You know,
yeah,
it's the
yeah.
exact same thing.
Yeah.
Very Citizen Kane, which we'll talk about.
Again,
We said we
and
talked
in
about.
the editing, you know, you look at a lot of the special effects they use because you know they did have their moments. I mean,
Yeah, there was
it did feel kind of like dated when you would see some of the effects where it's like, oh man, I haven't seen stuff like that in a while. Like I saw when the dog, you know, he gets his asshole kicked or kissed by the mayor. Like then his eyes like get all big and cartoony and stuff like that.
Like,
Oh man! By the way, they were very
That was a little out of
dangerously
place.
close for this. I'm glad you guys are touching on the sets and the dog. They were very dangerously close to this film being a green screen film where all the sets were going to be digital, and the dog was going to be a digital dog.
Well, I mean, this is
They were
we
very
went there,
close.
Yeah, Ken got
Well,
No,
I
they
mean,
were-
dude, isn't that the same year that Scooby Doo came out? I mean,
Yeah.
he was
Yeah,
a digital.
but it was different. You know.
no, it's
How?
I love Scooby Doo, but I mean,
Scrappy-Doo.
that is
Scrappy-Doo.
way too animated.
No, but
that's
that's
my
what it
point.
would've
That's what they
been.
would. Because you know
No,
why?
I wouldn't want
Because
that.
they wanted the facial expressions of the 1966 one.
See, no.
That's why they were almost
See,
gonna go.
So
with
you
it.
think dude, do you think this is like the last time like someone will do like the Grinch like this? Or,
No.
or,
No.
There's more to explore, but I feel like all I'm trying to say with my cinema rating is just that they used the highest end equipment and technologies they had at the time used it to the
and
most.
used it properly. They
Yeah.
could have gone the George Lucas route, man. George Lucas made everything digitally.
Yeah.
We'll talk about this in our doc month.
And I think that's why mine's like an 8-ish, you know.
Yeah,
you
right.
know.
So 7.2, good, but not pushing anything.
Christmas.
forward.
Christmas.
Yeah, for Christmas. Oh man,
This is your first
Could
time.
you be with your family just watching this and laughing your butt
I'm
out?
gonna be honest with you.
Yes.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I expected a lot more laughs from you, and I didn't get them.
Yeah, bro.
I know. Honestly,
And that's
his
fine.
his mind
I
was
want to.
somewhere
I
else.
generally want
That's
to.
why
no,
we're all
you know,
pissed off, because
you
his
know
mind
what
was
it is.
somewhere else.
You know, no.
Yeah.
No, you know what it is? Oh man, I feel like this. Okay, it suffers from two things.
Whoa.
First one
That's one more than I thought.
First one is that a lot of the jokes that are there that are really funny because of like memes and all that kind of stuff.
They've
I've
been
seen
ruined for
them.
you.
Yeah, like I've seen so many of
That's
these
fair.
bits and they've just like popped up
Because
everywhere.
it's a 2000 film.
23 years old. This film.
And you really watched it today. And that's what you're
I
complaining
know.
about?
Well, like yeah, like I didn't see it all that much, and then when I did see it, it would just be people highlighting the jokes, and I'd see the clips
fair.
here, that. And when I saw them,
It's not
hilarious.
fair.
I loved them. But then it's like, oh,
23
okay,
years
it's
not
for
fair.
first
23
time-
years not fair.
No, it happened that way. And then
What's
the
number
second
two?
thing is, I do see my family watching this, and I do see, like,
Did you see the jokes not landing with them either? or something?
huh? I guess so, maybe like, but I'll say that that's more of a problem of it being like a subjective thing with like my family and their comedy and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
As far as it being a Christmas film, I'll give it a 9. only because I can see this being like, I mean, it's almost like a cornerstone, right? Like a lot of people make this in their yearly rotation, like Family Man, that we've all made in our yearly rotation. Anyway,
a lot of people put this in their yearly rotation. Go on.
Yeah. So anyway,
Most people take Family Man out of their yearly rotation.
No, there's a lot of.
By the way, I saw it was on cable like 2 nights
Yeah,
ago.
a lot of people.
I left it on.
Yeah. Shut up, Brett.
Shut up, Brett.
No, but like a lot of people put this in their yearly rotation. I can definitely see why. I definitely want to watch this with my family because I'm kind of like, why do we watch it? Yeah. But the only reason I think it's not going to go past the 9 is because the animated Grinch holds such a special place in my heart. So maybe I'm also weird there where I'm like,
Get out of here, bro. Get
No,
outta
like
here,
the
bro.
animated one.
No,
That
bro.
one's
This
always on the
podcast
rotation.
is
No.
about good.
For Christmas, I feel like I'm definitely gonna keep watching that one, and if this one kind of like falls off the tracks, it's okay because you have the original one, the one that this is based off of. Like,
Okay, we're gonna have to have a third rating. Now I'm gonna go back to this guy.
is it gonna be a not low rating?
No. What did you think of Jim Carrey's performance?
A solid 3. Like anybody could have done
be
this.
real, dog. Because I'm
Half-half.
not gonna cry. Be real.
For Jim Carrey,
You don't
like.
think he?
No,
this
I'll
is
give him like okay. You need
Do
a
you
Jim
have
Carrey.
people in Disneyland and all these places mimicking this character, bro?
Why do you need my
In
my
Disneyland.
Or where
Universal
fucker-
Studios.
Okay,
fantasy people from
For what? What do you want me to do with it?
Use your own voice. And
You want me to timestamp it and then do with it?
dub it with your voice.
Like the Chinese dubbing's like Universal Studios.
yeah. it's
Anytime
gonna
he
be-
says timestamp, Austin
Universal
voice.
Studios. Yeah.
Yeah, just your voice.
I'm gonna put a timestamp counter and not do anything. Just put a counter on the screen.
Go up.
For Jim Carrey, like no, 9.8. Like I mean,
Right?
fantastic. Yeah, like nobody could do this like him. If anything, maybe those last 2 points, like that's just because I need to see more people that could have played this role. Like I feel like it's just my own knowledge and not seeing a fuller scope.
You know
But
what I admire about Jim Carrey is, at least for this,
his painting abilities, right?
his painting abilities are really fantastic.
Hey, leave him alone. He's painting, all right? That's what he's driving off into the.
Why do
you
so
act
many
like-
retired actors go into
No,
painting?
you know what's funny is that he acts like it's the nephew that everybody's picking. I was like, he's a good kid, man.
He was in prison just for a little bit. It's
Yeah,
fine.
Coke's not even that bad. You're just acting weird about it during Thanksgiving, Mom.
The snow is bitching.
Yeah.
The powder's bitching. What does he say?
Yeah.
The sun's out and the powder's smooth or something.
No, the
powder's
powder's
bitching.
bitching. He
Powder's
says
bitching.
bitching.
No, he
Yeah.
doesn't.
Yes, he
Yeah.
does.
No, he doesn't.
He
Yeah.
says the powder's
That's what I'm
bitching.
like, whoa.
Because
that chat.
it's a snowboarding thing. It's a powder's bitching. It's a snowboarding
Oh,
thing.
hold on.
I promise
Yeah,
you, he
and-
says
and
bitching.
it's so funny
You put the
because-
subtitles on. He said bitching.
Hold on.
Bitching.
No.
Push
hold
it to
on.
the limit.
We're checking this. We're checking this. 1 second.
Okay, Carlos.
No, hold on. Spread Eagle nailed it. No, I mean we can keep this in.
He's gonna put the audio in.
Yeah. Wait, is it before this?
No, it's right here because he falls off. See, I already know.
Are you kidding? The sun is bright and the power's bitching.
Oh, he does say powder's bitchin'.
PG again.
PG.
The sun is bright. and
Remember,
powder's
bitch
bitchin'.
wasn't a bad word back then.
No,
you know,
I
it
thought
was
that they
Yeah, they
they're
used it in cable a lot.
allotted like
Yeah,
a few
cable.
like bad words, right?
They upped it. Like for instance, fuck. You could only say one fuck in every PG-13
Didn't
film,
Marvel
and now it's
finally
like
use
2.
it?
That's what?
Didn't like Marvel finally drop fuck in a movie?
Oh, they did.
Did they?
That's crazy.
Yeah, didn't they in the New Guardians?
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah.
Fuck?
Yeah.
They
Peter.
they
Peter.
teased it in one of them with Samuel Jackson.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Fuck,
Samuel,
when he- yeah.
Where he's like, mother.
Yeah.
And then,
No. Yeah. And the new
Samuel.
Guardians and Guardians 3, Chris Pratt's character.
He says it.
Star-Lord
So is
says
it, but it's still rated PG-13.
PG-13.
Yeah. I think they get 2 now. I
Oh,
think
yeah, that's not bad.
MPA allowed it. But
And
anyways,
half a nipple.
yeah, just a half.
Okay, Carlos, go ahead. But like, am I bad? Is the ratings like?
What are you telling me? For? I don't know.
Objectively wrong?
No, subjectively, it's your rating. So
Yeah, but are they wrong?
Yes.
no, I don't know. They're closer to mine. They're closer to mine than
No,
they are
that's
theirs.
good. All right, what are yours?
Cinema
Wait, before we do, I just wanted to say
Cinema.
what I admire about Jim
Yeah, there we
Carrey's
go, yeah.
performance about this
is cinema.
is
Simba.
a lot of actors could get pigeonholed to something like this. Like this is their legacy role.
Yeah, and this guy
This
is
is
eagle.
not Jim Carrey's legacy role.
Exactly.
Or if it is, it's one of his many legacy roles.
Yeah.
You know, like it's not
It's kind of like Christian Bale. Like Dark Knight wasn't his thing. Like
I feel like Ace Ventura is his legacy role.
Nah.
That's
It's
what
one
you think
of.
with
That's
Jim
my
Carrey?
point. Like, you can't pigeonhole Jim Carrey to one thing.
Yeah,
Why?
I agree. Like
Like, Liar Liar, dude, Ace Ventura,
any of them.
You know, I've never seen Ace Ventura.
oh, it's
Neither,
pretty
there's two
great.
of 'em.
Yeah, the second one. I like the
I
second
haven't seen
one.
any of them.
The one with Courtney Cox.
Yeah, that's the
second one, right?
Second one, right? No, that's the first one.
But I get what you're saying,
Yeah,
though.
'cause
He
you're still with
didn't
You can't really say this is the quintessential Jim Carrey movie. There isn't. I mean, he's.
It just
very
depends
versatile.
what age.
Man, can you stop doing that,
Stop.
please?
Yeah, bro.
Most people will say Dumb and Dumber. Also,
Yeah.
by the way, like it's
Oh my
just-
god, the '90s, he ruled the
yeah,
90s.
he
bro.
ruled the '90s. He
Him
really
and
did.
Sandler.
For me, it's The Mask.
No, he in the mask. Oh my god.
Yeah, you know when they did the conga thing on the tree.
Oh,
by
yeah.
the tree, I thought The Mask. Like I
Oh,
I
wow,
went
yeah.
to The
He was
Mask.
like, all right,
yeah, all right. He's like kicking. Yeah, I The Mask. For me, it's. I think that's the first
Wait,
Jim
he's
Carrey
like-
film I ever saw. Was The
Yeah.
Mask. You know, so for me, it's The Mask. But again, some people it's Cable Guy. He doesn't. There's no quintessential Jim Carrey film.
Yeah, that's very
You
true.
know, so
love that.
I
love that.
appreciate that about like him.
I
People could
feel-
say people watch this film every year, right? So it's like, oh, this is the Jim Carrey. No, it's not.
I think he brought the
Grinch.
character so much to life
Yeah.
that people remember the character, not the
Jim
actor.
Carrey. Yeah, per se.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah.
That's what you want to do as an actor.
That's what I was talking about. Universal. You know, where they had the Grinch.
Give me a clean Universal.
Yeah, Universal.
So, anyways, my ratings. Cinema first. You guys want cinema
Yeah,
first?
sure.
Cinema first. Can you just throw the reading out there?
Okay, hold on. Let me give you some
You want
stuff.
cinema first? Or you want Christmas?
Yo,
first?
remember, this is a big set. It's the biggest budget.
Here,
For
Costco.
cinema.
biggest
For cinema.
budget
Look,
Castro.
look, Carlos.
biggest budget ever.
Mine that I was
No,
rating
something like
for
that.
cinema aren't that high.
No.
For comedy.
Hey, Castro,
Well, his
just
was a 9.8.
I was in an 8. I was in
cover
8.
your
7
ears,
point something.
and we'll tell you when to uncover
No,
them,
it's okay. It's look for cinema. Oh
Remember,
dear
man.
God! Christmas movies are
So many-
such a their own
makeup.
thing.
They're formulaic.
They're,
Yeah,
I mean,
formulaic.
Christmas films are their own thing. You
Yeah.
know, and Ron Howard's not a bad director. You know, he's not a great director, but he's not a bad director.
Yo, Ron, I love you. I don't know this guy. Crazy.
I'm at about a 6 for cinema. I'm at about a 6. I mean, it's dude. We've seen so much better cinema. It's just the way
Yeah.
it is.
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying like
And
Jim
the
Carrey.
6 is only there because of the merit and probably like the filmmaking.
Yeah, the merit in the filmmaking. I mean, everything was intentional. Even the weird fucking Dutch angle. I mean, like everything was relatively intentional.
What about
so
like it going not CGI route and going the straight?
that's where it gets its
Yeah.
merit.
Come on, man.
Yeah, like
Dude, you're like the SATs. You want us to give it 400 points just for signing your name? Like it's not. There
It's
has
tough.
to be steps of merit
it's
here.
tough to find where to
You
put
know,
your name.
yeah. So 6 for cinema. I mean, it's there. It's something that probably will be stuck in the vault. You know, but
Exactly.
for a Christmas film. You know,
there's a reason we're not.
if we get a stack of
it's still in
50
the vault.
Christmas films, it'll be in the vault. You know what I mean?
Whoa.
Yeah, it's just a-
Why'd you say 50?
Look, because this will segue into my next rating. In my Christmas top 10 films,
Oh.
it's in the top 10. It's
cool.
not high on the top 10.
But it's in your top 10.
It's in my top 10.
I think it's in
It's
most
not
people's top
high
10.
in my top 10 though.
I think it's in most people's top 10.
Give me 2 from that list.
Like my favorite two
And that
favorite
10.
films.
Fred Claus.
No, not
Alf
first or
and,
second. Just 2 of those.
Elf
2
Christmas
random.
Story.
Elf, Christmas Story, Christmas with the Cranks. Like I really like Christmas with the Cranks. You know, that's Sandra's favorite.
Christmas with the Cranks? You put over the Grinch?
Honestly, yeah, dude. I would.
Jingle All the Way.
I wouldn't put Jingle All the
Nah,
Way
but it's
over
a
it,
good
but I
one,
would.
though.
It is
Yeah,
a
I
good
like
one.
that
I wouldn't put it
I
over
like
the
that
Grinch.
one.
Really?
Yeah.
Good thing you don't have Die Hard since
Oh,
it's
Oh,
not
by
a
the way,
Christmas movie.
we're
Alf
gonna
is
we're gonna
good.
have that director on the podcast.
For
So
Jingle All the Way?
Yeah, his name's Brian Levant.
Is he okay?
I've connected with the man.
Nice.
Yeah, he said yesterday. He just got a new book going.
I love Jingle All the Way.
Oh, sorry. Is it off? There.
Got you back.
Yeah. So yeah, I love Jingle All the Way too. I think
Just
it's top.
Say it's in your top 10.
It's in my top 10. It is in my top 10.
Yeah.
What? Jingle All the Way?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is on my top 10. It's
Thank
just
God.
I don't think
Santa
it's higher
Claus?
than the Grinch. The Santa Claus is on my top 10 for sure.
What about the
Last Jedi?
Jack Frost?
No, not Jack Frost.
is that the one Jingle All the
Not
Way
for me.
with which one is that one?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh,
the
okay,
toy.
the toy, right? Yeah.
Die Hard?
Sinbad.
Yeah, I was thinking it was called something
Sick
else,
world
but
again.
Die Hard?
No.
That's not
Yeah, because it's not a Christmas movie,
Yeah, it's
right?
Tom Allen, right, as the neighbor.
Right, Carlos?
Tom Allen. Remember they just trying to take the toy from because he got the last one from the neighbor. Anyway, the Grinch is
Who's
awesome.
Tom Allen?
The guy
Tim
that died-
Allen.
Tim Allen. No, Tom Allen. No,
Yeah,
the guy from remember in Austin Powers when he's taking and the guy next to him. Like, yeah, you better take it easy.
Oh, in the
Tom
bathroom.
Arnold.
Tom Arnold.
Tom Arnold. Who the fuck is Tom Allen? Tom Arnold.
everybody be quiet.
He's the guy from Soul Plane, right?
Tom Arnold. Thank you.
He's the guy from Soul Plane, right? The dad.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, that guy.
He's a
Okay.
comedian. He's a legendary.
But I just
comedian.
wanna make
He's
sure
ma-
that-
married to Roseanne Barr. He's like the co-creator of Roseanne, the show. Basically.
I just want to make
Okay.
sure Die Hard's not in your top 10 because
No.
it's not a Christmas movie.
I
right?
don't really know what my top 10 Christmas films are
But it's-
to a T.
It's not in your top 10 because it's not a Christmas
But the
movie.
the
We're
Grinch
not
does
having
make
that
the list.
conversation. We're not having that
The Grinch does?
conversation.
The Grinch does make the list in my
Okay.
top 10. I
Why
don't
aren't you
quite
answering
know
my question?
We're not having that conversation, Austin. Move
that
on.
if Die Hard is or isn't. I don't care. That
Yeah.
discussion
No,
is
but
like-
it's not because it's not a Christmas movie.
We're
right?
not having that conversation.
I could care less about Die Hard.
It's in my 10th.
But it's not a Christmas movie. Christmas rating.
I could
We're
care
not
less
having
about
that
Die Hard.
conversation.
Christmas rating.
My Christmas rating, I'll set it at about an 8.5. 8.7. Let's call it an 8.7. I do think it belongs in the quintessential kind of list of Christmas films.
I'm changing mine to an 8.7.
God damn, bro.
Dude, it's just
getting
a
lower by the
Christmas
minute.
story, man.
Getting over it.
Miracle on 34th Street.
Oh
you know,
my-
I mean,
What a
like,
Wonderful Life.
What a Wonderful Life.
Home Alone.
Home Alone. Yeah, man. Like, come on.
Oh, you know what? I actually do have one on my top 10 that is a Jim Carrey Christmas film, and it's his animated Christmas Carol.
Christmas Carol.
Have you seen that one?
I have not actually.
A
The
Christmas
Christmas
Carol?
Carol?
That one's so much fun. And
Polar
I-
Express.
Oh,
Polar
you mean,
Express is up there for me.
you mean Tom Hanks
forgot about
featuring
that
the
one.
Polar Express?
You mean Mustache Hanks? Yeah, no. Yeah, just there's so many great Christmas films out there.
Yeah.
All right.
Dude, I'm weird, man. I like watching Harry Potter during Christmas.
Same.
I mean, it's
A
just
lot of
I
people
was watching
do.
The Godless.
That's not weird. You're not unique.
Anyways,
comparatively to other Christmas films. I mean, yeah.
moving on to our next segment. Makeup.
I'm also just not a Christmas movie guy. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, you
Like,
and Sandra?
I like Disney. We like Disney
You're not gonna
Christmas
like grab
movies.
Cooper and
This must be the
Sandra
Grinch for you.
and like Missy.
Universal, guys. So Universal, Disney, Universal,
I said
Disney,
Grinch.
Disney, Universal.
I
Dude,
didn't
that's
say
a
Disney.
that's a Jim Carrey reference. But Universal, Disney,
Oh,
Disney,
yeah,
Universal.
okay.
on to our next segment. Makeup.
Anyway, so yeah, just 8.7 for me. You know, it's there. It belongs here. Belongs in this genre.
It is a
Don't
movie.
worry, Castro.
And the third rating?
Castro, don't worry. At the cafe, I'm gonna destroy his pick.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. We'll double team that shit.
I dare you.
I don't like Elf. I think it's one of Will Ferrell's worst roles. We'll talk about it at the cafe.
It made Will Ferrell.
I
Before
doubt
Elf, he was old school Will Ferrell. He was
that's
SNL Will
when they
Ferrell.
really wanted, like, they're
Dude,
like, okay,
they didn't even
he's worth
bank
the money.
He wasn't even a bankable star. Elf was supposed to be this low risk comedy.
Yeah, I saw the whole.
Will Ferrell was not Will Ferrell before
not it
Elf.
for me.
We're not talking about Will Ferrell.
yeah.
We're talking
So,
about the iconic.
Your
Jim
third
Carrey.
rating about acting?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. This is one of top Jim Carrey's.
Why are you dancing? I'm
I
not cutting
don't know
this.
that I've seen Jim Carrey in a bad performance, dude. To be honest with
break
you,
them
I
down.
can't.
Shoot,
I can't
even
tell
with
you
the
a.
Sonic ones. Like,
Yeah,
he's
I
good
can't
as-
tell you a bad Jim Carrey performance or a bad film choice even. You know, he does so less of them now that
I just wish you would do more drama.
I agree.
Yeah,
But
he's just
you know,
retired.
Eternal
He's-
Sunshine of a Spotless Mind is my favorite performance of his.
Yeah.
You and I talk about the number 27 a lot. Number 27, number 23.
23.
Number 23 a lot. I mean, yeah, like, yeah.
Yeah.
I prefer the dramatic Jim Carrey. I also feel, though, that Jim Carrey, what saddens me about his dramatic roles, I think Jim Carrey's trying to stay away from it, but he's on that Robin Williams level, dude. Where I think the dramatic roles take something out of him, and I don't want to see Jim
yeah.
Carrey die. Like I don't know. It's when I see him, he's
I know
so
what he's saying.
heart wrenching that I'm like, oh man, this killed you a little bit. This made
Yeah.
you know.
Especially like that
Yeah.
weird era when like he didn't believe in anything and like he went to the fashion show and he's like, oh, I
yeah.
just wanted to experience the most meaningless thing
yeah.
possible.
And the girl's just like,
He hates Hollywood, dude. He calls out Hollywood gatekeepers and Hollywood fucking elitists. Like he hates it. He
but
hates
back
the
in the
system.
day, he was like in award shows making
Yeah,
fun, doing,
yeah.
like he was.
learned
Jim
his lesson
Carrey,
somehow.
dude.
Somehow something clicked for
Yeah,
him.
something, yeah.
I love his episode. If you want to watch like real Jim Carrey, be real Jim Carrey, where it encompasses everything. It's his funny side, but it's also his serious side. He gets serious about shit. Watch his episode of Comedians in Cars Getting
Yeah,
Coffee.
I saw it.
And it's man. You learn a lot from the man.
They
Just
go to
watching
go
it.
eat, and he's talking about
Jumping the fence, you remember?
Yeah, from his
Jumping the
house.
fence. Anyways, yeah, Jim Carrey as an actor in this is fantastic. I mean, there's no denying that.
Speaking of Jim
It took him a
Carrey-
while to get there. He hated making this picture.
Yeah, speaking of Jim Carrey,
Yeah.
he hated making this picture because of the makeup, right?
Why are we with it? It's not like
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
getting into it. I'm just finishing my thought on the rating.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
Was it one of those where it was always like, how long did it take actually?
the makeup.
No, like the movie to be made.
They started talking about it in '97, and then this is how I know this.
No, production, I guess.
Oh, to make 91 days.
91 days.
91
That's
days.
Terrible.
It's not terrible, but
So
that
91 times 3.
makeup.
Yeah.
91
That's true.
times
You
3.
know.
You know, that's a lot.
Why three?
What? Why 3?
Was it 3 hours for 91 days?
Right.
Come on, bro.
It
Oh.
took an hour and a half to get in, and an hour
No,
and a half to get
it took 2 hours and 15 minutes to get in, an hour to get out.
So, but it didn't get. You know how like I forgot which
He
one.
exaggerates too, by the way, which is I'm sure it's how he felt. But at one point he said
True.
it took 8 hours of makeup
Yeah,
and shit
true,
like
true.
that.
It's a lie because they'd get like 2 hours to film and then.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like I think it was the Batman where it started off with like 3-4 hours and then they kind of like
Yeah.
learn little shortcuts and stuff like that.
You mean for his character, for the Riddler?
No, for
prosthetics.
the Grinch.
Why,
Was it always
Batman? What do you mean?
You know how with Batman, at first, I don't know if it was Batman, but you know how like the mask, it took like 3 hours and whatever the hell.
Oh,
don't think it
I
was
see what
Batman.
you're saying. I see what
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
saying.
but then you know throughout the
Yeah,
production,
not like the molds and shit like that.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like they got better and stuff like that.
Well, look, we'll talk about it because it's probably the most important component of this film, if we're being honest. I mean, as far as the makeup goes, to enhance his performance, they did a very smart thing. They decided to let Jim Carrey exercise his face muscles and essentially like even the grin. People think that the grin is prosthetics. Like no, that's his actual facial structure.
It's creepy when he
doing
does it
it.
now.
Yeah,
Have you
practice
seen
it.
him?
He used to
Kinda
practice
the-
the
Have you
shit
seen
out
him?
of
Like sometimes he'll do it in interviews.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It's like holy shit. Yeah.
That's why I said he did it better than the guy from It.
He does it in Bruce Almighty quite a bit, and these kind of small
like-
instances. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, when he's like turning around, like it's a Jim Carrey thing.
It's a Jim Carrey thing.
The mask, obviously, you know.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah,
Somebody-
the makeup plays a huge role for the making of this thing and for obviously the end result. But everything that you see for the most part are practical effects, from the makeup to the set design to a lot of the stunts. And bravo, you know, for them to stick to
Yeah.
practical effects, right? Like we've discussed. But the makeup, yeah, like we said, took so much out of him to get in that. The famous story is that when they were first prepping the film, Jim Carrey kicked a wall through his dressing room because he hated it. He fucking hated it. He described it as being buried alive. He hated the makeup.
Yeah, I remember reading
And he
that.
kicked a hole through the wall, and he hired a CIA agent.
I do remember this.
He hired a CIA agent
To
who
train him how to-
focuses on torture.
Yeah,
On
oh
like
my
being tortured
God.
by terrorist groups, you know, to show him
think
like
somebody else did
torture
this.
resistant techniques so that he could sit in the makeup chair, he could be, you know, upset. And what help him cope are these techniques and smoking. You saw the Grinch with a cigarette holder this big because it was highly flammable. The
Jim
makeup.
Carrey was smoking?
Yeah, he was smoking
All
a
the
lot.
time.
Just
Yeah.
to
Just to
chill out?
level himself out. He was smoking a lot.
'Cause he doesn't smoke.
In fact, the CIA agent, well, that was the tip. Smoke, dude.
Smoke.
Just fucking smoke. Like,
Yo!
you know, and because of the
91 days.
highly flammable, like, oh, it was yak hair, by the way, yak. Highly flammable stuff. So, like, they had to have a cigarette holder this big. So imagine the Grinch on set with a fucking cigarette holder this big, and then
Just trying to keep
just
it cool.
smoke,
There's
just
a
trying to
lot
keep
of
it cool.
pictures of
Yeah.
like the Grinch like smoking. And
Yeah.
yeah, that was one of the big things of just like him needing to like get those.
It's good,
nerves
and
out.
that's Jim Carrey, dude. He's somebody that can't stay still.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
and the makeup artist, there's a whole story that people know the CIA version of it, right? The reason I say, I don't know if you knew this, it burst my bubble a little bit because but I mean, who knows, dude? When you're an actor and when you're a human being in these conditions, it's like shit, right? I mean, I'd probably do the same. Jim Carrey, according to the makeup artist, not the main makeup, one of the like makeup artists that put his makeup together, because there's a main dude and then like his assistant, right? One of the kind of key the second in line basically, quit the film and cited that Jim Carrey was an asshole and cited that Jim Carrey was a dick to everybody. He was a dick to him. He hated being in the makeup and he complained about it. And he would like go out of his way to be a dick as if it was the
Nah,
makeup
I don't believe
person's
that
fault.
stuff. I don't believe that
Well,
stuff. He might have been a
didn't-
dick, but
I
not
didn't-
go out of his way.
I didn't until I read that. He quit the film and Ron Howard went out of his way to hire him back because he was the makeup guy because he was such an important component of the
So
film.
Ron Howard was
They
like,
shut
no.
down production for like 3 days. And what pissed off the makeup artists is that what would happen is they would. This is the makeup artist's thing, and I kind of believe it because, again, Ron Howard went out of his way to like, dude, come back to set. I'm sorry. I talked to Jim. He won't be an asshole to you anymore.
Right.
Like, this is cited. So what would piss him off the most is that he would, put him in makeup for 2 hours, get on set, and randomly Jim Carrey would walk off set and leave for like 6 hours, burning the day. And then he would go cool off or do whatever he did, come back, and the makeup was destroyed. And that just burned the day. And that happened. Dude, this was not supposed to be a 91-day shoot. Like it did interrupt production quite a bit.
From a director's perspective, do you get it?
Look,
Like
dude,
both ways. Both ways.
When you're a director, part of your role, a good chunk of your role, is
When your actor's telling you, I'm feel like, what did he say? I feel like being buried alive.
yeah. Part of your role as a director is talent management.
Exactly.
It's keeping your actors happy and which is kind of double-edged sword, dude, because on one side of the coin, you got the right people. They're big stars. They're gonna bring the performance that you casted them for.
Exactly.
But by the same token, dude, I've heard this argument a lot. I lean a little bit this way. You're getting paid $20 million to be in this shit. Don't bitch. You know what I mean? Like, and my favorite actor, Leo, is like, I'm not gonna bitch. I'm here to do my job. I'm getting paid a lot of money.
Leo was never on makeup for 3 hours, right?
You're right. He doesn't. I don't know. You're probably right. He probably doesn't.
No, but I
you know what I mean? Half of it is
I
like,
lean more towards that too. I lean like
half of it is like, I get it. Like,
Exactly,
it's
it's like-
tough. It's hard. If you had to
then
hire
also-
a CIA agent to train him,
you got 123 million budget.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
are.
But you also hear about
got this
like
things-
films where the actors just complete dick to everybody and uncooperative.
No makeup.
With,
No makeup
uncooperative
required,
with
yeah.
everything, and then you'll hear the directors be like, "Hey, I wanted you for the role, but we had to fire you, and we got somebody else." Like there's plenty of people that
I
I
was
think sit in
revisiting
those
that
chairs, and
story
it's a hard
today.
decision, right? Like imagine having to fire Jim Carrey and be like, "We'll find somebody else." Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I was revisiting that story today of when Shia LaBeouf was going to be on that Olivia Wilde picture, and he quit because of her and Florence Pugh isn't quite cooperative.
Wait,
on
that
set.
new one?
Yeah, he was supposed to be what's that singer's name? Harry Styles' role. He was supposed to be that role, and then he quit the film.
wait, which film?
Don't worry, darling.
Haven't seen it.
But I was revisiting that story today as it came up on my feed, and it's tough. Like I said, man, a good chunk of your job as a director is your what is the official title? Your hospitality. Your hospitality for your actors, and you have to keep them happy to a peak. But there's also other directors, guys like Ridley Scott and Tarantino, like, no, motherfucker, we're here to work. Like, don't bitch. We're all in weird conditions.
It always brings me to that British talk show where they're interviewing Ben Stiller and Jack Black.
Uh-huh.
And they're saying like, yeah, Ben Stiller, we heard that in Tropic Thunder you were kind of an asshole.
Uh-huh.
And then they asked Jack Black like, well, the movie was successful, wasn't it?
I did.
It's
One of those
kinda,
things, right?
yeah.
On one side of the coin, I believe this happened on set. It doesn't, it doesn't stray far from me because this shit happens, dude. I mean,
It happens, exactly.
This shit happens, and the reason it bums me out a little bit is because I thought Jim Carrey was always just one of the good ones, and he
Me
was always
too,
nice
and
to
yeah,
people.
Yeah, this is kind of
It's not that bad.
Yeah, it's not bad.
And I've heard worse stories about actors on
It's
set.
probably like
but
3 hours instead of 6 hours. I don't know.
No. I mean,
you
I'm
walk
talking.
out.
I'm not. Yeah, right. I mean, it's not the most terrible thing. I've heard more terrible things.
I mean, there's an actor who
What-
yelled at a DP.
Yeah. So
Oh,
like,
that's
yeah. So I get it. I get it to a certain extent, but it
yeah,
does
like you
bum me
said,
out a little bit,
it's
right?
like, yo, you're the one with the big money. You're getting the big check.
And
I understand
Ron
that.
Howard strikes me as a pacifist, dude. Ron Howard strikes me as a guy who's just gonna be like,
He's not Quentin Tarantino.
let's keep him happy, guys. Let's
He's
keep
not
him
Quentin
here.
Tarantino with Jamie Foxx. Like,
Yeah.
no, don't do that.
No,
You're too cool.
don't do that. Yeah.
You're a slave right now. Like, god damn.
Yeah, he's not cool. He's a slave.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. There's a whole thing. There's a whole great story on Django about that. But again, I lean more towards the side of like, Leo had a hard time saying the N-word on Django, and Sam Jackson and Jamie Foxx like, motherfucker's just another Tuesday for us. Like, get to work. Like, don't be bitching about stupid shit,
True.
So it's just one of those things where on one side of the coin as a director, I get it. On the other side of the coin, I'm like, it's a massive studio picture, man. It's a lot of money.
And I bet you
It's-
And you would think at this point, Carrey was pretty big. He's this big star.
He is, yeah.
So you would think he'd be a little more professional about it.
He's never had to undergo something like this. Though.
This was very.
How was it for the
CIA
mask,
agent
though?
just to teach him how to.
I mean, it's a simple
Yeah, you
thing,
put
right?
the prosthetic on the face, but I mean, the
And
rest
then
of your
you-
body's like uncovered. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
What?
having-
No, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that as far as everything I've seen when it comes to like when they even do these full body prosthetics, one of the hardest parts is that when you're making the material, especially like the flexible material and all that, your skin doesn't breathe. You're basically
Yeah.
like kind of like trapped all in, and
Yeah, 'cause they're
especially
kinda gluing it
if-
sometimes or-
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
the
then
adhesives.
if you're a very like tactile person. That can be super aggravating. This idea that you feel like your skin doesn't breathe at all,
Yeah.
you don't feel the air and all that,
Oh, I would
and then
freak
just
out.
being I can understand exactly why you would say like being buried alive because this all has to mold to your body, so you're just compressed in this singular thing. You gotta like
Quick little story, and I think I read this somewhere. For the Predator, you know how Jean-Claude Van Damme was the first
Oh,
one? to do it?
yeah.
He said that he didn't like the suit, that he just kept sweating and sweating, and that's why he quit the
The set.
set.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
that's why they got the other guy.
I mean, honestly, look, even it got to a point where, like, as I understand it correctly, and I started noting some of it, the yellow contacts were so uncomfortable for Jim Carrey.
I was just thinking about that right now.
Which what they ended up doing is, a lot of the shots they got from behind, so that you wouldn't see his eyes, so you could take his contacts out. And when you did, and he couldn't take it anymore, they colored him in post. They were his normal
See,
eyes,
like,
and they just colored him in
especially your
post. He
eyes,
just
bro.
couldn't handle it. So I feel for him, dude. I get it. And by the way, as a director, you have to pick your battles. So like, if I were Ron Howard, I'd probably be telling myself like, you want it practical, deal with it.
He probably did.
You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just one of those things that I think is a little funky for that. But you have to empathize with Jim, but at the same time,
You sign up for this.
yeah. So yeah, it's one of those funky things about the makeup, but it's very important. I mean, I ended up making the film. If you really think about it, the
Yeah.
character of the
He
Grinch.
is the Grinch,
Yeah,
yeah.
very much so.
Thank you, man. That means a lot, bro.
rating staying at a 6.3. Okay.
Yeah, no, I just think it's that, right? But again, it's let's say it paid off. This is a film that's revisited every year. Jim Carrey's performance is the standout thing about this picture, and little Ronnie Howard gets points also, right, as a director. So yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things that should be
What were you
valued
gonna
at.
ask about the camera work?
I wanted to ask you about, because I got to a point
saying-
where there was so many Dutch angles that it started getting distracting
And
for me.
Snorri Cam, huh?
There was one Snorri cam, which was fun. It
I
was
felt like
cool.
there was a couple.
There was a couple there. They hided them in the like,
The spins
shots,
and
yeah.
the speed shots, yeah.
but not much.
The Snorri cam that they did on him was fun. I mean, it was intentional. So were the Dutch angle stuff, but it just
Yeah,
got to a
I
point where
know.
I was like, dude, you have 20 Dutch angles in this fucking film. Like, more than 20, I'm sure. I was reading. I can buy into this. I don't know if you do. I can buy into this. Maybe.
Not bad.
The theory of why they use so many Dutch angles is because if you know the canon of the Whoville, the Who's people, they're tiny, and they're molecule level, and they're living on a
Spec.
well, they're living on either a flower, or they're living on a snowflake, or they're
Oh yeah, you're talking
molecular,
about. I
right?
did not know about this.
So
I know about, Horton Hears a
Horton
Who.
Hears-
I knew
that's
that.
them. The people in Horton Hears a Who are who's people. They're it's who's, right?
Sorry, I'm a
So
little slow to this shit.
the reason they say that this Dutch angle is because of how small they were. That the draft, the wind, basically, that's what it'll do to people this size, right? And so anytime you see that, it's because of that. It's a shift on how
In their world.
in the world. Yeah. I didn't think I
what-
could
you know
maybe
what
buy
it is?
into it. I didn't think it was
know what it
super
is?
intentional that way. I think they were just trying to be fun.
Again, I think it's all playing into the technology of the time, and also the style. Like, no, go ahead, say it to the class.
Yeah, say it to the class.
Yeah.
Come on, no, say it to the class.
Take a photo.
Anyway, no, but I feel like it was playing into the technology of the time. I mean, like we talk about things like, or I was mentioning earlier, like cinematography of like Batman and Robin, things that are they used a lot to get kids' attention, very grabby, very eye poppy. Dutch angles are also like a Dutch angle when used skillfully.
Traditionally.
Traditionally. it's meant to be very subtle, but it shows this imbalance in the scene, you know? So, especially when you're not using it too much and then something happens and you use a good Dutch
questionable.
angle.
It's a good-
Yeah, it jars the audience, you know? But, you know, then it's kind of like, oh, okay, well,
And when
we're
you
going to
think-
have the Grinch pop out of here. We're going to have him run over here. Or like,
when you think
there's
about
something going wrong.
intentionality,
Yeah.
though, I mean, traditionally the Dutch angle was used in European pictures a lot as this artistic choice to really place the audience in a very, very...
If you noticed, a lot of the Dutch angles here were emotion. They were very much like, let's start off.
Were
and then,
they? Yeah.
Yeah, they're these pop kind of like Dutches.
Yeah. They
or
weren't.
like,
They weren't quite.
or you'd see
don't know.
like you'd see very few moments where they were on like sticks or dolly or something
Yeah.
stable, and then you see the next shot and you could tell it's like handheld, like
Yeah.
over here and all
Yeah.
that. And I mean, it's the only intentionality I see behind that is that you're just trying to like really grab the eye.
I guess.
But
Yeah.
it's I wouldn't. I'm not gonna put my money into
You're
the
not-
whole
you're not
40
gonna
years
read
of
into
thing.
it?
Yeah,
Okay.
because I feel like especially with that whole
yeah.
speck of dust thing,
That
like,
doesn't fully convince me. I could maybe buy into it if Ron Howard would to say that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, by the way, this was this DP's last film ever. He retired after this film because he
well, then, like I said,
he did a film before this. Oh man, what was it? It was like a very heavy exterior, like nature driven film. And he had an accident on that film,
Oh, no.
and he like hurt his back and did this thing. So he did this one. He's like, I can't handle it anymore. I can't do it anymore. He died like 2 years later.
Wow. Sad.
Yeah, the actor who played 8-year-old Grinch also died.
2 years later?
No, like that same year, like a couple months after the film was
really?
released, I think,
It was
right?
20, right?
2002.
Oh, okay, so it was a couple years later. So yeah, he died as well. But
I love that character.
yeah, that character's really great.
He was a little good.
Little asshole.
Yeah.
It was great. And I'm a sucker for origin stories. I like that they gave the Grinch an origin
Yeah,
story in the
true.
scenario, and the original one they don't. The original, as I understand it correct, I mean, I've seen it a million times, but the reason why the Grinch hates Christmas in the original is because of the noise and the gluttony.
The gluttony and
That's
the
it.
nice.
No, and then also his heart's too small.
Well, sure, but those are the reasons. There's reasons. There's catalysts.
And what's the reason with
right?
your
The catalyst
your
in here
animation
is
where-
that's why. That's it. Gluttony and
Because
noise.
that's like the
No, but the new
fundamental
one. The new
one.
one. That's the old one, no?
Yeah,
No, I'm talking
all
about the
the-
old one, like that
Oh.
one.
No, he's
The
talking
old-
about his
yeah.
favorite is the old one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like that one. I mean,
Yeah.
it's fundamental.
Oh, okay.
Building block.
It was Sarah. Not Sarah. Sandra, the one that was saying about.
She likes the new one, but
The new
she
one,
likes the character, the Grinch as a whole. Like for Christmas every year, we put a fucking 12-foot
Nice.
Grinch outside our house, dude.
Hell
Like
yeah.
so, she loves the Grinch as a whole.
Yeah.
But just camera work. It wasn't random. It was thought out. It was fine.
It was thought out, but it's all meant to be. It's meant to be poppy. It's meant
Yeah.
to like,
Yeah.
oh, if you're relaxing at a certain point in time, how do we get your attention back in? Get
Yeah.
your attention back in. Look here. Look there. You know, a lot of that kind of goes into when you look at like the camera work for like kids films.
Yeah.
They know that they're tailoring it towards an audience that's going to have a shorter attention span, that's going to lose interest quickly. So if you look at a lot of kids films, there's these weird little jumps or weird little like pops or weird little zooms that they don't feel necessary.
Yeah.
Especially like every 5 seconds. I mean, we kind of went to rewatch one of Austin's like childhood favorites. What is it called?
Kicking and Screaming?
Is it Kicking and Screaming? Yeah.
The Will Ferrell one?
Yeah. Where you look at that one and there's all these weird kind of like jumpy camera movements where it's almost like the camera feels antsy, but it's because it's tailoring it towards an audience that we need to keep their attention, you know?
Yeah.
And you'll notice that. You'll notice that in a lot of like kids
Yeah,
films and cinematography.
yeah, I mean,
is meant
that's
to be very
fair.
grabby.
I could be wrong. I think this is Ron Howard's only kids film. He never went back to the genre. He was very successful off the Da Vinci Code series and
Yeah.
kind of stuck to that world a little more.
What's the last thing
he
he's
did
done?
really good documentaries too along his way.
He did a Beatles one.
He did a Beatles one. He did the
8 days a week.
8 days a week doc,
Wow.
which was actually really good.
8 days a week.
Yeah, he did solo stuff like that. So
The last thing he did was 13 Lives, but he has 4 films in.
Production.
He's got 1 in post, 2 in development, and 1 in pre.
okay.
working.
He's still around. I mean, by the way, his daughter's a really good director too. Bryce Dallas Howard. She's a great actress, and she's a good director. She's really good. Damn good actress, but as a director, she's getting there. She's liking directing a lot more. She directed a couple episodes of The Mandalorian that were fucking
Whoa,
great,
whoa,
man.
whoa, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa!
Bryce Dallas Howard is getting
That's
there.
now we're talking.
She's good. But anyways, yeah. What else is there to say about the picture?
You know, one thing also that I
Oh.
think we overlooked. What up?
What's up?
No, go ahead.
No.
Did anybody notice like all these prosthetics on Jim, and he was able to
Yeah.
convey and do
Yeah.
all these
Well,
facial expressions?
Again, at the top of the episode, I was talking about how I wish we had more people that we could talk to as far as like the makeup, because that like, you know, we talk about Oscars and how there's all these different departments. I mean, right now we have you acting, you directing, writing, that means cinematography, but there's so many departments
Yeah,
that really
yeah,
do
yeah.
go into film and with makeup.
I
and
mean, on this
wardrobe.
last short we did, we had what 10 department heads. I
Yeah.
mean, it's
With makeup and wardrobe, there's so many unique challenges that are just focused on them being like the all-stars. So you could tell with like the prosthetics team, they had to really know their stuff to not only have it where it all molds onto Jim well,
Yeah.
but that he could move around.
And even in his face,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
everything
exactly.
else, even like his
and that's,
eyebrow.
that
like,
that comes down to the little I do know. That comes down to knowing the types of materials that are going to
Yeah.
work, having to use a mixture of materials that some areas are going to be more stiff, other ones need to be able to be more flexible, and it's a
I'm glad
it's a super unique balance. You know?
I'm glad the makeup team won an Oscar for this because
Yeah.
it wasn't just Jim's, by the way. They had 200 plus extras that they had to put makeup on because the Who's are not,
Yeah,
or
the
they're
Who.
humanoids,
And
right? I mean, they're
all
Whoville.
unique. They're
Yeah,
all
yeah.
super unique. Yeah.
you know, Lucy, is it Lucy?
Lucy.
She doesn't have any makeup as far as prosthetics go. And
that was just her natural.
Their reasoning is that none of the kids do. Is that the kids grow into their nose? That's like the thing.
Okay.
It's kind of the opposite, right? They grow into their nose, so like they get the who knows
The who
later in
knows.
life. So that was fine. It was fun. Fine
Wait,
little
what about
justification.
Yeah.
the girl that the Grinch ends up with at the end? I thought she had like no prosthetics also.
She
and
doesn't.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you mean? As an adult?
Yeah, the girl that
Yeah. What's
Don't
her
that
name?
he's
yeah, Martha.
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 Yeah, we're like, oh, Martha's gonna be there, and
As a kid, she doesn't.
no, but as an adult, does she have a who knows?
She barely does because she's the love interest. So that's they
What do you
actually
mean?
to justify that. Her nose is more human than it is who.
Yeah, like she's more attractive
Yeah.
because she looks more human.
And it's one of those things where like she's the most beautiful girl in the village, right? So like it's one of those like she's unattainable, and the Grinch gets her at the end.
Okay.
Whereas if she was just another common kind of girl, it wouldn't be as rewarding.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's the reasoning behind it.
I see.
I did read about that. It was
nose.
intentional.
No,
But
I was gonna say that you know, we haven't talked about it too much, but as far as like the child actor or the little actress that was there,
Lucy?
Yeah, Lucy. Like, I feel like she carried it well.
Oh,
Like-
absolutely.
Like,
Absolutely.
there's a lot. There's
True.
There's such a weird range where if you see a child actor just do a normal job, not too many people will give it praise, but you see that there can be really hard to deal with, like child actors, really rough performances. That's why they say like never deal with children and animals on a film set because
Yeah.
they're the least controllable types. So you could tell that with her, like, you know, she was showing some, like, I think promise as far as
That's
like
true.
what her abilities are. You know, being able to deliver lines, deliver emotions, you
And
know.
even feed off of Jim Carrey, whatever.
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
doing.
Oh, and then that's so
When it
hard.
goes to
The
the layer.
times you would see.
I was about to say, I'm shocked. He doesn't like mineral water, and he's drinking mineral water.
It's actually not bad.
I told you these are good.
Sponsored by Mineral Water.
HEB.
Well, it's because you know what my thing is. A lot of times, mineral water, like the flavored ones, you don't taste the flavor. It's just mineral water. But this one, you can actually.
Yeah, it's enhanced, really good.
Imagine our podcast listeners. You know
No,
they
talking
must be
about
going
that,
through.
that's what we were saying about the little Grinch. Like,
Yeah,
this can't be a
this
kid.
can't be a kid. He's
just
a man. Yeah.
That's a man.
That's a man. No, but yeah, Lucy, she's for me. Castro.
Oh, bro, what?
She's for me what makes this a Christmas picture.
Yeah.
That kind of classic Christmas
Yeah.
picture character.
Yeah, she performs
You know.
that.
No, and
little
then-
kid
Bringing back
that's-
to what the real Christmas spirit
Oh
is.
Exactly.
about.
yeah,
Yeah.
like I mean,
Give
she-
everybody a chance. That
It's
little.
like she even says at some point in the film, she's like, "I'm even starting to doubt what Christmas is about."
Right.
No, and
I
then
love.
she's
By the
like,
way,
"What's
I
the
started.
secret?"
I
carries
was
that, yeah.
wondering that for a bit because I went into this. I've seen this thing whatever, how many, or however many times.
Yeah, like one time.
Me? No, I've seen this film. I've seen it a million
Oh.
times. But I went into this thinking like, okay, it's a Christmas film, Carlos. You just have some fun, expect it. And then I realized, well, yeah, sure, there's an overarching thing with the Grinch, and he has an arc. No shit.
Yeah.
I like her arc better.
Ah, come on. Man.
I like her arc better, where she's this kid is like, Christmas is so full of shit. I'm kind of over it.
Yeah.
And then Ree falls in love with it through the
So you're
Grinch.
telling the audience to go see this movie because of her?
No, the arc in the story, not the performance.
Yeah,
not
like the in the writing, you know.
Yeah, and her arc is almost more interesting for me, where she's this kid that's like so disillusioned with Christmas because of how fake it feels, and how people are obsessed with the gifts and the traditions.
It's a good art, but not compared to the Grinch, who was just been isolated.
Well, the thing is, the
nobody
Grinch
wants
one,
them.
No, but the thing is, the Grinch one's
And then
already
he
like.
slowly starts into.
The Grinch
are
one
you
is
gonna
the
stop?
easy one to get.
Well, not the easy one, but it's.
Damn, Carlos,
it's,
yo.
it's just the original.
No, go ahead.
Go over it over.
It's the original story of the Grinch, and that's what the film really revolves around. So
Exactly, bro. Exactly.
No, like the Grinch one is like the original one. It's like that's the arc that everybody knows. It's expected, but kind of adding her into it, kind of.
No, I know. I'm just a big Jim Carrey
Yeah.
fan.
But yeah,
Yeah, I mean it's not a bad arc. The Grinch arc is obviously the main one. It's
Yeah,
the
but it's the
interesting.
one that
it's
we all
like
know.
it's the classic. Like
It's the kind of classic arc, but her arc is like, dude, this little kid's depressed.
yeah,
Y'all see the
she's
arc,
rude.
like-
Oh shit!
I
I,
mean,
mean,
think
arc,
about
in
it.
a paper.
Yeah.
I
You
see
know?
the arc by the performance. Like, oh, dude, that's like the arc.
No, because
no,
you can't
we're not-
just
we're not-
see the arc.
No, no,
you
hold
can't
on.
just
I'm
see
gonna
the
tell you
arc
that
on
when I said
paper.
The arc
we're
doing the arc.
we're not discounting Jim Carrey's arc. Or
No, I'm saying, but that's what makes it more of a better arc.
No.
No.
It's performance.
what we're
No.
trying to what we're
Whoa.
trying
You guys have seen it kind of like in paper.
That's
No,
what,
but
no,
that's
no,
what
no,
an
no,
arc
that's what I
is.
mean.
Hers
People
is
don't.
kinda-
No. It's because the laws weren't right. One thing's the writing, but you, if you're a filmmaker, if you're just seeing it on paper, you're a novelist, dude.
Okay.
You have to see the arc visually, tonally,
did, that's what I'm
acceptably.
saying.
Her arc for me, guys,
Yeah,
for
for
me,
you
is
and
just
you
much
only,
more.
and the only
No,
person-
apparently not. It's just more
Okay.
interesting for me. It's just,
Look at the scenes of her being around the most people, right?
Yeah.
In the scenes that she's around the most people at the very beginning is when she's in the store. You know, she's surrounded by people, but everybody's just there to buy gifts, or she's in the mail office and all that kind of stuff. And then the second time that she's around the most people is when they're doing the traditional, that whole award thing, you know, and there's conga lines and all these kind of weird bits. And then the last time she's around all these people, it's the sharing of the feast and all that.
It's the arc of feeling alone in a room full of people.
Yeah.
and it's
It's the yin and
depressing
yang
as
there.
hell,
It's
right?
No, but those are the
There-
most
there's so
powerful
much-
scenes.
Yeah.
Those are the most
Yeah.
powerful scenes, especially when you see her in it.
Also, think about this for a minute. How dark is this film where the sweetest girl in the world is the rebel in society?
Yeah.
That's the arc. You know what I'm saying? So like again, I bought into her arc a little more
Yeah.
on this screen.
Yeah.
Like
you
the
know?
famous philosopher Huey Lewis in the news once said, "It's hip to be square sometimes."
Yeah.
Anyways,
It's hip to be square.
The power of love. Isn't that the same band?
Oh, that's Back to
No,
the
that's
Future,
the
though.
power of love.
That's Back
The
to
song.
Future, dude.
Yeah,
But the band is
Back
Huey
to the
Lewis in the
Future.
news.
I'm
Yeah.
definitely doing that.
Yeah.
hip to be square.
Can you just go see the Grinch because I don't care?
You don't need to tell you don't need us to tell you to see the Grinch. Chances are
Back to
you've
the
seen
Future
it,
when I'm driving
and
the
chances
car.
are it's one of your favorite Christmas films. So you don't need us
Or
to tell
chances are
you
you haven't seen it before.
because you're a square.
You're square.
It's hip to be square.
next week we have the Santa Claus.
By the way, though, just ratings. Did we change? I didn't.
No,
I think
I'm totally
So
okay.
why do you mention him? Nobody changes that.
Because I'm not
We
the only
could've just
person.
gone
This
and-
isn't the Carlos de la Torre podcast, guys.
Did it change? Did it change?
It went down.
for me it's still an 8 on cinema.
Nah,
And
man, now you're being mean, bro.
No, that'd be me.
for me it's still an 8 on cinema and a
That's what
10
I'm
as a
saying.
Christmas.
I know.
Well, because
Why
for
did you
me it's
mention it?
for me it's still a person.
We do it every episode.
I know everybody's didn't change.
Here,
Did
but
yours?
Mine was 9.9. They're all of them.
So why
Okay,
didn't it go up
so-
to a 10?
No, just
Yeah, exactly.
because you know.
Okay,
my
okay,
palate's
wait.
a little bit more.
But like the new thing I've been
Yeah,
adding
man.
in, new thing I've been adding in to like wrap up everything.
Yeah.
Films that you would recommend based on this one. I'm gonna be a little bit wild,
Yeah.
but I'll say
I like wild.
if you like this one and the aesthetic, which is
Okay.
kind of a weird way to phrase it, like Batman and Robin. I feel like this one falls into a very similar vein. No, hear me out.
Bro.
No, but if you want it, but that's like if you're diving into pictures that have that
The nipple
feel.
costumes?
Yeah, that feel, you know.
They're talking about Michelle Pfeiffer's one or which one?
No.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
No, the one
Everybody
with George Clooney.
freeze. Fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Oh, the Mr. Freeze, the
Yeah.
bad one. The
Yeah,
Schumacher
yeah.
one. The Schumacher one.
Yes.
Oh, dear God.
No,
I
no.
love Joel Schumacher. I hate that
No.
film.
Everybody,
But
The,
that's the
the
thing.
George Clooney one.
everybody chill.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, but because okay, no, it's because with me like.
By the way, I walked on the set of Warner's where they bring he drives a Batmobile. Robin drives a Batmobile.
Oh, I love that scene. Though.
I do like that scene. a lot.
Yeah, I love
I
that.
got to walk on the actual street
Oh,
and
for
shit
real?
like they took
Where everybody has
pictures.
like a neon
It's
shit.
on the Warner lot.
No.
No, but
No.
hear me out. Hear me out.
No.
What are you talking about? No, okay, fine. If you like this film, watch Brazil. Brazil's kind of wacky, you know.
Don't watch Batman and Robin. And expect this to be
If
that.
you like this film, go watch.
The original Grinch.
I mean,
No.
like it's like a cat
Go
in the hat
watch.
kind of. I don't know.
No, Jesus Christ. Go watch Nightmare Before Christmas and Edward Scissorhands. If you like this film, that's
Nightmare Before Christmas.
yes.
Edward Scissorhands. Just for the aesthetics?
Nightmare Before Christmas is just the Grinch with a skeleton.
No, it's
yes,
not.
it is.
No, it's not.
Dude, yes, it is.
Bro.
It's
Way
a
to
guy
give a
who
bad
loves.
recommendation.
It's a guy.
It's a bad recommendation.
Have you
my
guys
bad.
seen Nightmare Before Christmas? It's
Like,
a guy who
yeah.
loves Halloween over Christmas.
Okay,
wants
okay.
to destroy
Yeah, that
Christmas.
is true. I'll
Steals all the gifts. It's the same shit.
Okay, I'll give you that one.
He does not want to destroy Christmas. He just wants to be Christmas better than anybody else.
No, he wants Halloween to be the primary holiday over Christmas.
No, he falls in love with Christmas more.
At the end, that's what the Grinch does.
Maybe the real Grinch is just the friends we made along the way.
Nightmare Before Christmas. Any Tim Burton
That's the
kind of
only
Christmassy
one, yeah.
thing, by the way. And Edward Scissorhands.
I got a good recommendation.
Let's see.
If you liked this one, you should definitely watch The Christmas Carol with Jim Carrey, the
Yeah.
animated one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a good Scrooge.
Scrooge.
I can't believe I haven't seen that one.
The Disney film.
Oh, you love
Because
it.
he's made two of them, right? He's made that one and then.
You're thinking of Lemony Snicket.
yeah,
I
right?
always think of Lemony
Yeah, me
Snicket
too. That's what I'm
dude.
thinking too.
Yeah.
Watch Sweeney Todd.
No.
Austin, anything else to say before we wrap this up?
No.
So we're doing the Santa Claus next. Tim Allen, this is Austin's pick.
That's gonna take me back to.
And yeah, man. By the way,
Square.
unpopular opinion. I kind of like the second one better. We'll talk about that. I really like the
It
second
has a
one.
better arc.
Which one's the one with the cool ass elf with the hair?
Bernard.
Both of them.
Bernard?
Yeah.
He's in both. He's in 1 and
It
2.
was on all three, but we don't talk about three.
I didn't see
Okay.
3. That's the one with Martin Short, right?
Yeah, we don't talk about three.
Oh, really?
It's
Put that
okay.
in?
It's fine. I rewatched it recently, actually.
I gotta rewatch.
I rewatched part of it. He's like the.
He's Jack Frost.
He's Jack
Yeah.
Frost. He's Jack Frost.
Okay, who's with
It's
the-
Martin Short. It's still Martin Short.
But you like the second one with the fake Santa Claus?
Yeah, a little bit, dude.
It's fun.
I
but-
don't know. Maybe not.
So we're
Maybe
doing
the
the
first
first
one
one,
is
right?
better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
we're
doing
doing the
the
first one.
Okay.
But it's a good little arc. When we were doing Halloween stuff, I kind of want to do Halloween Town. I feel like the Santa Claus is,
Yeah.
It's just, oh man, you know what's gonna be interesting, or I guess it gives us a reason to lower our guard, because especially after the Walter Mitty episode, I feel like there's so many nostalgic films I have
Yeah.
that if I rewatch,
Well,
I'm gonna be like, oh no.
when it comes to these genres, that's where we can be the most forgiving, right? That's
Yeah.
how that's how I go in and let's have some fun and
Right.
it's
Yeah, like-
Christmas.
Because like I know later on
Yeah.
this month I'm gonna watch The Polar Express.
No, Polar Express still holds up.
You think so?
I
Yeah.
think so.
It's 2004.
This is why when you give me that look, I understand the reaction you're having and most people have when I'm like, dude, no, like Christmas with the Cranks is actually a really good Christmas film. And like Sandra loves it. She's the one that really got me into it. And it's just
Oh,
one of the repeats.
Have you
know?
guys seen?
Unaccompanied Minors.
No.
That's a really good one too.
No. Okay.
Kids stuck in an airport. It's a Christmas film. It's a really fun little Christmas film. Nobody watches it.
Have you seen
Unaccompanied Minors.
Arthur Saves Christmas?
No.
I've heard of it. I think.
It's an animated one. It's by the same people who do Wallace and Gromit. It's really.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. It's the Chicken Run of Christmas, basically.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yes.
No.
It's the same company.
Don't you say
It's
that.
the Chicken Run of Christmas.
No, you're the Chicken Run of Christmas. Okay.
It's the flushed away of Christmas.
No, don't say these things. Stop it. You're gonna hurt my.
I didn't say they were bad. I like Flushed Away and Chicken Run.
Don't make me listen.
You're just mad because I'm right.
No, anyway. no.
Dropping bombs.
If you watch it,
Arthur saves Christmas.
yeah, it's because I was listening to Wheezy Waiter. I don't know if you know who that is.
I don't think nobody knows who that is.
I don't think
anyway.
Wheezy Waiter knows who that is.
Aw. Well, if you ever listen to Wheezy Waiter, for all the Wheezy Waiter fans out there, he does one where
He's like Weird Al, isn't he?
no, he's not. No, but he had an episode
It
where
sounds like weirdo.
he had an episode where him and his wife they were saying that they wanted to watch new Christmas films, like things that aren't
Unorthodox
yeah,
Christmas
like the
films.
Christmas films that people have added into their rotation that people don't really see and stuff like that. And one of them that they added was Arthur Saves Christmas, and they ended up saying that was like a new classic for them. I watched it for the first time last year, and it's actually really good.
Okay.
In
Arthur
fact,
Saves
I'd be
Christmas.
super down to talk about that one. It's an animated film. but
Make
it's-
it your pick.
'Cause why did you bring it up if it's not your pick?
Thank you for watching.
You were
the
having a hard
watch-
time picking something. Pick your
Damn.
pick.
No, I didn't have a hard time. I said mine instantly. Christmas Story.
Oh,
you're
man,
right.
you got offended, dude, with that.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Come at me, Ma.
Yeah.
Go watch it.
Thank
You've seen
you
it.
for-
Chances are. Join us for the Santa Claus next week.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of you have been asking about the shorts and like the YouTube shorts and Facebook stuff, and it's all coming back. We're just winding down from kind of being on set. We're still in post production and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
we're just trying to pick up pieces here and there. But I promise you, all of that's coming back. I know you guys like to share them, and we appreciate you sharing them. They will be
Yeah.
back.
Thanks for everybody
but yeah.
who's been watching. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
my goodness. I think it's always weird whenever we do bump into people, or they're like, "Oh, I've heard of you," or "Oh, I've seen you," and it's like, "How'd you get in my house?" But thanks,
Yeah, no, but we appreciate it, and they will be back. We'll get back into it. We're just again winding down from very very busy few months.
Oh yeah.
I'm doing big things.
Big things with big people like this man right here. So tune in for what's coming up.
Better.
And
Do your
let
best
us-
Grinch smile.
What?
Do your best Grinch smile.
I can't. I'm not a good impressionist. Like,
One of those.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Tune into the WatchTower Film Podcast.
Love you guys.
All right, we're gonna do whose line is it anyway now?
All right.
Lines to start a fight.
Lines to start a fight?
Yeah.
Jim Carrey's a bad actor.
Martin Scorsese is overrated.
Hey, you guys want to fight?